Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to SpawnCast episode 156. We're missing some people tonight because some people aren't feeling too well, and Sean's busy with other things. So we still have a bunch of people here though to go over some things because we did have technically a direct, just a mini direct this past week, and a few other things too. But tonight we have Joey Ferris on tonight. What's going on, man?
Nothing much. I'm just here to talk some gaming news and reveal my crappy opinions about Nintendo Directs as always.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah. Sounds good. Then we have MVG. What's going on, man?
What's going on, man? Great to be here.
Have you here, Jordan? How's it going?
What's going on? Good to be here.
Got OJ. What's up, man?
Deuces. I'm good.
We got
Don't
Nate.
sound good.
I'm fine. No, I actually just I did this is how you realize that you're getting old. Like I went to my backyard, like I did a sprint. I did like my old football workouts from like Fresno State. Like I was doing some sprinting and some push-ups and stuff, and I felt like shit the next day. Excuse my language, but I felt horrible. Like I feel absolutely terrible. And I used to do those like all the time, morning. Like we used to do 2 days, sometimes even 3 days, and I feel absolutely horrible. I did that for an hour yesterday, and I still feel like my muscles are sore and everything right now. So I'm old.
OJ,
Nice.
You know when you're getting old is when you wake up out of bed and you hurt your back and you don't know how you did it.
No, that's happened to me.
When you get to that level, man, come and talk to me.
Hey, there's been some times, man.
Then we got Nate. Who's the big square tonight anyway?
Actually, MVG. So
MVG's right there. Very nice.
As always, as usual.
I should have been the big square. I got blocked in the friggin' direct discussion video.
Oh man. We put the direct mini thing over your symbol.
That's not right.
That's fine.
And then we got Evan, who has been playing quite a bit of Animal Crossing here with us tonight. Has not time traveled.
no.
Has not time traveled.
Respect.
Wow.
I was tempted to play it during this podcast because I have a lot of catching up to do.
That is very. I see a lot of people time traveling online, so that's pretty good, Evan.
I don't want to do time travel. I mean, it's tempting, but
I'm not time traveling. It's not tempting at all.
I mean, yeah, I got.
no, it is tempting when you see all your friends are like, "Look, I have all this stuff," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'll get there one day."
When you see all
At
your
what cost?
when you see all your friends, if you don't have friends,
there you go.
If your friends would jump off a bridge, would you do it?
Probably.
Oh, dang.
I don't have friends.
They're
so
my
therefore,
boys.
Fair enough.
I'm good.
So do you want to get into what everyone's been playing this week? So I'm sure a lot of it's been Animal Crossing for some people. So
Majority.
wait a minute, did Nate? Did you get Animal Crossing yet?
It is still in transit.
Wow.
Likewise.
Just get it digitally at this point and
I
wait.
already bought it, Fringe.
Okay, I bought a physical one too, but I still bought it digitally so I can get it early.
Is this just on Amazon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they're
Dude,
dropping the ball.
their Prime thing is like 12 days now or something to get a copy of anything.
Yeah, I saw that. Like I was looking at some lights and it was like April 18th or something. And I'm like, wow, that's a long time.
I got an email about Persona 5 that my pre-order is potentially at risk of being pushed back.
Yeah.
Because if I don't get it tomorrow, a notice of shipping, which usually they ship it out Sunday,
Yeah,
gets
because
here
you would
Tuesday.
Oh, that's a good point.
If it doesn't get that notice, they'll give me a new date. But it just said it could be delayed. I got an email saying it potentially could.
Yeah, because we saw Final Fantasy VII might be delayed for some people depending where you are in the world.
Well, apparently some shipments are already out there.
Yeah, it already leaked. It's already out there.
Damn. Spoilers.
Yeah, so you guys still have not been able to pick it up yet. Okay, that's fine. But what's everyone been up to this week? We've been playing.
Well, I guess I can go. Nobody's going. The Bravely Default 2 demo came out, and it's absolutely phenomenal.
I haven't played it yet.
So good. I love Bravely Default. Everyone's saying, oh, like, for the people who didn't play the original Bravely Default, oh, it's like Octopath, right? No, this like blows Octopath away. Octopath is like Bravely Default. Bravely Default came first.
Is it similar to this the one that's on the ones on the 3DS?
It's similar to the one that's on the 3DS. It's got that back, but they've done a couple tinkerings with the what's it called, the abilities that you get from the different classes and everything. So it just feels a little bit more natural. It's definitely faster. It's more fun to play. Obviously, you have the HD graphics. The game looks amazing. It has a cute art style, but the game, like in terms of like the cloth and the textures and like the different like the reflections on the armor and everything, looks fantastic. I've been having a ton of fun with the game. I've already maxed out everything, and I'm just kind of like playing through. They kind of put up the difficulty a little bit, so like you're gonna get like bopped if like you're not careful and like you don't actually use your classes and use your abilities. and put the right weapons that you have. But it is a ton of fun. It gives you a lot more flexibility over, Octopath, if people are kind of looking like which one's better, or, if you like this one, because Bravely Default, you can actually default into it, like you don't have to build up points. You can actually go right there and like go -4 if you want to and just fight, if you're confident in your abilities. And that's kind of like what separates Octopath from Bravely Default. Like if you're really, if you get really good at the system, you can kind of go in and just destroy enemies. But at the same time, you have to have a lot more strategy with how you put your abilities, what abilities you use, what classes you have. And there's so many different job systems, whereas, Octopath, very limited amount, right? In terms of things. With Bravely Default, man, you got a bunch of different jobs. Like you can see that they're going to even expand more. So really excited about it. And apparently the demo, I think they're going to do the same thing where it transfers over to the main game as well. So I'm excited about that. So having a ton of fun with Bravely Default too. Can't wait for it. It's coming 2020. So looking forward to it.
Good stuff. Good stuff. What about MVG? You play more Doom?
Yeah, I am almost at the end of Doom, and I'm probably going to go through it again on, Ultra Nightmare or one of the harder difficulties.
Do the master levels?
I will get there. I mean, dude, the game is so good. I will probably give the master levels a go.
I'm like right at the end of Doom Eternal right now. Like right at the end.
Yeah, I beat it earlier this week. Game's just, it's probably my game of the year so far. But the rest of the year is just going to be insane with games. But my God, Eternal's just.
It's very, very good. It's a little longer I thought it'd be, but it's definitely harder than Doom 2016.
Yeah.
I feel like that's
harder.
just due to the strategy that they put in there, where you need to have different strategies for different enemies you're fighting. But then they throw in towards the end, they throw in enemies that are there to basically buff other enemies, and you have to find them before you fight. Yeah, it's very interesting. And then the idea of chainsawing to get ammo. You chainsaw the weaker enemies to get ammo.
You definitely have to use the right ammo on the right monsters and conserve ammo in order to actually get through the sequence that you're currently fighting in. But I've been playing that a lot. I think it's awesome. I also tried out Panzer Dragoon for the Switch.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Sean's not here. I'm sure he would have loved to have talked about this one.
God. I wonder if MVG and I are on the same page with this game.
I think it's okay. But it's missing a lot of kind of features that I kind of figured that they would put in the game. But look, as a 2020 modern remake, whatever you want to call it, it's fine. It's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with the game, but there are a couple of things that do bug me about it. Notably, and Max actually was the one that showed me this in his video. When you kind of rotate, your dragon around, there is literally a half-second lag when you rotate around, and it's very distracting. And
when you tap the shoulder button to turn. Yep. I noticed that too. That was weird because I was like, I didn't think I pressed it. And I kept tapping it, and then finally we go around. I thought that was strange.
So that really kind of bugged me, and I remember on the Saturn version, it's instantaneous. I mean, you can rotate, immediately around. So I thought that wasn't that great. And there's a couple of other quirky things that kind of bugged me about the game, but otherwise, I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. I think it's a solid port.
I played it, and it just feels like Panzer Dragoon, but it's not 60 frames. It's 30, right?
No,
30.
Yeah, it's 30. Yeah,
that's
literally unplayable.
Yeah, that's a strange one that is 30. I mean, it's going to come out on PC, and there you go. I guess you get 60 there, but like that was a strange thing to see that. But the thing that bothered me was I kept playing around with the different control schemes, and you can't change them on the fly. Basically, you have to quit out of the game, change it, and I'm talking about doing anything, inverting it, any of that. You have to quit out, change it, then you get back in, and then you just like there's modern controls where you use both sticks. There's like old controls where you just use one.
I didn't like the modern controls. I thought they sucked. I went back to the regular kind of original controls. I mean, maybe it's because that's the way I'm used to playing the game in the first place, but I couldn't get my head around the modern controls.
The modern controls are weird. You use both sticks basically. So one stick controls the reticle, and then the other. Yeah. So it's almost like a on rails first person shooter kinda, but you have the ability to go up and down with the left stick. It's kind of weird. I don't know. I don't think it works as well. But they do have a lot of options for inverting or not on the y-axis and everything. So if you don't want to invert it, you can change it.
The game is, I'd say it's okay. It's good, but it's not great.
Yeah.
It feels like they wanted to remake Panzer Dragoon, but they got caught in the middle between an HD remaster and an actual remake. It doesn't feel like they took the full step to a remake. And they have to patch the game because we have to get the better soundtrack, which I guess they said is coming eventually. We need some motion controls just as an option.
Motion controls will be good.
Like the reticule lacks any accuracy and depth. The bobbing dragon, I don't know where the hitbox is for my character because it doesn't stay still. He's all over the screen. So, and then like you said, the input lag for the rotating, even the sound design, something just feels off about it. It just hopefully they can patch it and they're able to fix. It's like it's not a lot of big issues. It's more of a case of like a death by 1,000 cuts, and that's what is hurting the game. Hopefully they're able to patch it, fix some of these things, and they take this feedback to heart when they're making the sequel. Because it just feels
they're supposed to make that too. They've already agreed with that.
Right now I don't know if I'd be able to recommend it to people at its full price, and it's a forever entertainment game. They discount their stuff 75% after like 3 weeks. So like I wouldn't recommend it at full price right now in the state it's in, but it's not a bad game. It's kind of, I view the game as one of those situations where if I was a newcomer and I've heard all this high praise and I played this version, I'd probably walk away from it saying, why is this game held in such high regard? And if I'm a purist, I'm probably walking away saying, I expected more from this release. It's still a good game, but I thought it was going to be something a little better than what we got, especially at that high of a price tag.
And you can still beat it in like an hour and a half.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. I wish they added another level or two in the game. I mean, they basically had the ability to do something like that. So why wouldn't they just add some extra content in the game? I get it. It deviates away from the original vision. I get that, but you know, if you look at like Doom 64, they added some new episode, or they added a new episode in the game. I mean, there's no reason why you can't add additional content in a game like that.
And that game's like $5, right? Doom 64.
Yeah, exactly.
$5. Yeah. They should have at least even had a feature like Halo Anniversary where I could play with the Saturn visuals or the remake visuals.
I thought about that too. Yeah, maybe have the kind of original game as an unlockable or something like what they did with Panzer Dragoon on the Xbox.
I think that would have been a nice little feature. Like, it's still a fine release. I would not buy it at full price right now. They need to patch it. How much is that
full price?
$25.
25.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they didn't go like 30 or even 60, but still, like that. I think I see Panzer Dragoon as like a $15 game right now.
Yep.
Yeah, so they can patch it, I guess, but we'll see. Because I almost wonder if they didn't patch it or didn't have the stuff ready because they were trying to rush for the shadow drop.
It feels rushed.
Yeah,
it feels like they raced to get it out this week, and they're like, we have to hit that mini direct date for a shadow drop, and this was the state they had, and they've even gone on Twitter, said, oh, we're going to add motion controls, we're going to add this and this and this, and like, I get it, you can patch it, you can fix the game in a month, but you're asking us to pay full price now on the promise you're going to fix these issues, and that's just a tough pill to swallow.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if they add anything or fix it later, and then we can revisit it at that point, see what they add. What about Joey? What did you play this week, man?
Oh, I've been, of course, was jumping in on Animal Crossing like every day as I can to get them bonus Nook miles at the ATM and stuff. It's a really fun game. Like, we'll talk more about that later. But Doom Eternal, I just beat that earlier this week, and I've just been super hyped for this game ever since it was announced. I was hyped for it after I beat Doom 2016 and said, damn, where can they go from here? And now after I beat this game, I'm like, oh, why does my webcam do this? It just goes back to default settings. Whatever. I'm a ghost, guys. Anyway, so I just love Doom Eternal, and I want to know, like, after that final boss, no spoilers here, just like, where are they even going to go from here? Like, it's absolutely nuts and insane. Like, story wise, it's really good. I didn't pay too much of attention to it. That's all in like the menus and such. But as for the combat, I've been browsing Reddit, and I see a lot of people complain about the gameplay, saying it's basically, oh darn, I have to think while I play about how to play. And I'm like, yeah, you have to recognize like how much ammo you have, and then I'm just like, get good, use the chainsaw. Come on, it's not that hard. Like, I like this change of gameplay style in Eternal. It's I think it's a great evolution from what Doom 2016 started. Like, yeah, it's different, but it's also similar in sort of a way.
I don't think they wanted to make the same game all over again.
Absolutely
so
not.
They want to change it up some. I think they did a pretty good job with it overall. So
totally.
With it. But I mean, if you guys want to talk about Animal Crossing, you may do so now, because I know you, Jordan, OJ. I see OJ doing Animal Crossing like every night on stream.
Yeah.
So
I was supposed to stream it every day.
And then Evan's all about Animal Crossing right now too. Every time I turn on the Switch, he's playing Animal Crossing.
Content for other people.
Can I just say something with this game? I don't even know why the game is good. It's such a stupid game. It's like you're not doing anything, but it's like great at the same time, because it's like, okay, I put up a fence. Am I supposed to have fun putting up a fence? Yes, I'm having fun putting up a fence around my house. It's like the little things, you know, like, or it's just like you're putting up like a tree, like you're shaking a tree for fruit, catching a tarantula. It's just all these weird things.
Pulling weeds.
Yeah, pulling weeds. I mean, it's just like, you don't think, like, if you put it down on paper, you'd be like, there's no way you're gonna like this game. Like, there's no way that I would think that I would like it. But yeah,
you have to let them play it.
You just have to play it. Exactly, Jordan. You just have to play it. I don't know why I like the game, but I think it's because of the just like the complete control you have over things, and how it's just like no pressure, just chill, just kind of do what you want. And if something happens, oh well, that's okay. You just, I don't know, fight the tarantula the next time, or just catch a fish, or just go do something else, or find this dude on the beach that's washed up. Like, it's just cool. Like, it's just cool to just constantly be doing things in the game and getting things and talking to your friends and the messaging and all sorts of stuff. So it's just dope. I can't explain why it's so good, but it really is. There's nothing else on the market like it, though. You know what I'm saying? It's like nothing else. There's like no other game that you play that's like, oh yeah, that's like Animal Crossing, like completely, right? Like, you played other shooters or whatever the case is, but Animal Crossing just feels like something completely different, because I don't play those other, like, I don't play like Stardew and other games like that. But even those games, when I did play them, they're not like Animal Crossing. There's just something.
It doesn't compare.
It's just something that just like hooks you more, you know, than some of the other games that are maybe kind of like it. So I don't know what it is. It's like magic, dude. It's amazing.
Okay,
Yeah, it is.
Okay, Evan, let us in on your town.
What do you mean?
You were talking all kinds of stuff before we got on the podcast here. You're saying you got all this stuff going on in your town.
Oh, I mean, I've been because I come from games like Terraria and all that, where it's similar but a little bit more detailed. I'm trying to sort of metagame it a little bit, but in my town right now, because the villagers are making me pay for everything, I just cut down all their trees and cleared that whole area, and then I moved it to my side, so I have all the groves and stuff. I sealed them out of that, so
what?
They don't get anything.
Well, you said you're growing different trees of different fruits and stuff on your island. You got all that. You got like the third room in your house just about done. You're not time traveling at all.
No.
So you're doing it legit. I gotta give you that. Like you're you streaming that? You streaming Animal Crossing?
Not really. No, I got a lot of commission work to do this week, so I'm trying to finish that up on stream whenever I can.
Oh, you're not gonna show the people your town?
I will eventually.
Okay. People are gonna want to see that town eventually. You know, maybe we'll make a video and everyone can see Evan's town. Evan can take us on a tour of his town.
I got the second bridge building, so I got to cut down a lot more trees because they do not get those either.
Oh, okay. So do you just hoard all the resources? You just like put.
100%.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I have so much iron. It's not even funny.
I mean, it is an island, so they're not going anywhere. They answer to you basically. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Evan figured it out. What about Nate? Hit us with it. Hit us with the weird indie game you've probably been playing.
Let's look at the weird indie game.
What was that one that looked like Limbo that you made a video the other day?
Stella.
That game looked really good.
Stella.
It's from Skybox Studios. They're assisting on the development of Halo Infinite, and they made a game that is very similar to Limbo or Inside from Play Dead. It's called Stella. You are a mysterious woman who is thrown onto a planet that's basically at its end of days. It's in its apocalypse. The forests are burning, and it's populated with a bunch of weird creatures. There's no combat or anything. You just move from the left side of the screen to the right side. You solve some minor puzzles. You die brutally. But the visuals and the sound design are excellent. The only real problem with the game is that the narrative, there's no spoken dialogue, there's no text dialogue. So the narrative is all just through your interpretation of the events happening on screen. And once you get to the end of the game, but it's a fairly short game, there's really no payoff. It was kind of like, well, this was a cool experience until I'm now wondering why did I play it because nothing happened.
How long was the game?
It's only like about 5 hours.
That's not like a short game.
No, but it's not overly.
I thought you were about to say like 40 minutes or something.
It's probably it'll take you longer because you're going to die. It's a lot of trial and error of how do you get past this part. So you'd be like, oh, I'm just going to keep walking, and then all of a sudden, like a giant goblin thing will come by and rip you in half. And you're kind of like, oh, I guess I was supposed to wait.
Wow. Okay.
It's a neat thing. Then I played. How do I say this? Operencia. It's from Zen Studios. It's a dungeon crawler type of thing. You fight dragons and stuff. It looks neat. It has some performance issues. It's very stiff in movement because it is a dungeon crawler. So it is kind of like walk straight, turn fully to the right. Now you can walk that path because you have to. It's very stiff. And then I just played some RBI Baseball 20.
Why do you have RBI Baseball?
Because baseball season isn't happening for God knows when, and I need my baseball fix, and I don't want to buy the show.
Why do you want to buy the show?
Because I don't feel like it right now. I want to play a portable baseball game.
Okay. I mean,
So
they got
next
the show,
year when
they
it
have the
comes to
show on the
Switch.
Vita.
No.
It's just not the newest one. You just got to play the old one.
No, I'll just wait for the show to come to Switch next year.
You think it's next year? I think it might be 2022.
I think they didn't they
you think
beat
it's
it
next year?
2021.
Really? I thought 2021 is when they were going to start developing it.
Yeah,
I
we'll
don't
find
know.
out, I
The
guess.
baseball years they're all over the place. Who knows now?
Yeah, I mean, RBI is closer to a simulation this year than previous years where it was very arcadey, but there's still animation errors. Like, I caught a ball that my character clearly did not catch, and I got a ground ball that my character was probably about 10 feet away from, and one time I did not hit the ball with the bat, and I still somehow got a single.
See, I like I like the show because of the mode where you create your character as a position player, so you're a pitcher or you're a first baser, and then you play all the way through, and they have like RPG elements and stuff to it.
Yeah, that doesn't have that.
Yeah, and also it doesn't have online. RBI Baseball doesn't have online on the Switch.
No, the other versions do, just not the Switch, because apparently adding that mode was too much work.
Weird. Okay. All right then.
That would have been fun if it had online. At least I could have played against Sean or something.
Yeah. Huh, weird. Wonder why that is. All right. Jordan, you just play Animal Crossing? What'd you play?
So aside from Animal Crossing, which I want to touch on some other cool stuff about that,
Okay.
I just started actually playing because it came out Thursday was the newest DLC for Borderlands 3. So I jumped back into that, and I've been playing the new DLC, and it's good, and it's weird, and it's Borderlands. So it's just that's all you got to talk about
I keep
it.
forgetting about Borderlands 3. Like, if I get any time, I could probably go back and play more of it, but I just always forget about that game. I don't know why. It's just a game I forgot about. I don't know.
I like, I just always love when the DLC's out because it just gives me a chance to jump back in it, and keep playing for even longer, even though I probably put way too much time to that.
All right, so you grabbing that Borderlands collection on the Switch?
I will.
Okay.
There's just a weird announcement for it because it's a new name, because now it's not the Handsome Collection, it's the Legendary Collection, which has everything aside from 3. Even though in that trailer there was a clip of something from the third game, which was weird. Either way, I'll grab that in BioShock on the Switch probably.
I figured you would have grabbed Borderlands because you're a big Borderlands fan.
Yeah, not that I'm in a rush to play 2 on the 18th console again, but just to have it on the go would be nice in case I do want to play it. But like, I've started that game up on too many different systems and consoles over the last decade almost at this point. So
I'm gonna play it again. I'm looking forward to it, man.
I just played it again twice last year. I'm okay.
But now you can play with MVG and I on your Switch.
We can play on our Switch Lights right here.
Well, MVG's interesting.
That's how you respond playing to us.
Because of how bad that Vita version was.
Yeah, I want some, the redemption arc, after the Vita version.
Oh man, are you going to compare it MVG to an overclocked Vita version? That'd be cool.
That's actually not a bad idea. That's a good video idea. Yeah, I'll probably do that.
I'd watch that.
But yeah, Animal Crossing's been has been most of my time, honestly. It's hard to put down, and it's really good, and I like it. And I'm not doing any time traveling, so just going day by day. And
Nobody's time traveling around here.
Oh no, people maybe not around here, but people are time
here.
traveling.
I mean here.
Time travel.
Oh man.
But what I thought about, because a lot of these holiday themes are updates, right? They're going to be updated. Because if you time travel to, like, let's say the holiday season for Toy Day, right? That's not programmed in the game yet.
Right.
It would be coming in an update. So my thought process is, instead of like the old games where it was the same event every year, it would just be the same programmed in, this is what's going to happen. There could be new holiday events every year that are different from the previous year.
Yeah.
Which are only unique to that initial time. And I think that's pretty cool. So like dates of the events can change, and what happens in the events, or new items can be put in the I think it's going to be cool to see Animal Crossing have.
They could do all kinds of stuff
life.
Because if it's not there, they could do a crossover with like one of their other franchises. Just because they decided months ago to do it, they could be like, oh, let's bring in like some cool thing from Legend of Zelda or something, or let's bring in something for Mario, Mario Day. They could be like, oh, like next year they'd be like, oh, it's Mario Day, let's give them this really cool hat or something, and it gets updated in the game. So that's something that look forward to there. That could be cool.
Yeah, absolutely. But other than that, yeah, that's about it. That's all I've really had time for this week. It's been a very busy week for me. So
okay. I did play Jedi Academy. Sean did as well. He's not here to talk about it, of course.
I actually bought it and I'm downloading it right now.
You enjoy grouping up with him and playing online?
I'm going to give it a go on the Switch.
that game needs some help right now. They need to do some patching to that, because like you can't play online with your friends. You have to.
The whole reason Sean bought the game was to play online with you, and he can't even do it.
He was so pissed in chat.
Yeah, you can't. So you can't group up with your friends in the game. You can only do randoms, apparently. Like, they did not spend as much time as I was hoping they would on the multiplayer side of it. So that's
Mario Maker 2 flashbacks.
Yeah, I mean, they can work on it or do something with it, because that's Aspire. I could see them maybe doing something, but it needs some help there. Otherwise, that was Jedi Academy. People like Jedi Academy a lot more than Outcast. I like Outcast. I think the story's better, but people like Academy because you get your lightsaber immediately, like right away. There's nothing else. You just get your lightsaber, and they let you pick your force powers as you go through too, and you pick the level you want to go to next. So there's some choice there as well. It's a little open ended. But I'm liking this Jedi Academy again. It's cool to see it back, and they did announce Pod Racer as well, and I'm ready for that game too. I like Pod Racer, so whenever that comes out, I'm on it.
This is Pod Racer.
Yeah. Evan, we got a Discord question over there. Oh, by the way, Discord is under like heavy load right now from what we're seeing. So if you get any weird quality dips or freezing, that might be why.
Hey,
apparently everybody's using Discord.
YouTube's also kind of lowering their quality all around, since everyone's kind of hammering them.
Right. So if you go to a video now, it's defaulted to 480p, I think is what they do now. So if you're confused why videos look that way, you have to actively go in to like the little gear icon and change it to a higher quality yourself.
Thanks, I hate it.
Yeah. Do we have a Discord question, Evan?
Let's see. What is your primary way of making money in Animal Crossing?
Okay, we need Evan's help here. Evan knows. Evan has so much money, he's looking for places to bury it in the game.
Well, there's just minor tricks to it. I mean, definitely find people who have all the different fruit trees, or just one other fruit tree, and kind of mass that, because any fruit from not your island just makes way more. I think it was like a stack of 10 is 5,000 bells. That's every couple days you can get that. Just pay attention to the hot items once you get to the point where you have that second shop, because occasionally they'll throw one at you that's cheap to make, and they'll just pay so much for it. So like, if you stockpile stuff and just wait.
I think we need a video from Evan, tips on getting money in Animal Crossing.
I should have recorded. I should have recorded selling all those chairs. I made 200,000 bells today out of all the iron.
Wait, hold on. Which chairs are we talking about?
It's here? the iron garden chair. It's like 3 iron to make it, and that's it. And I had a couple hundred iron sitting in my storage, so I just started mass producing.
instead of just selling the weeds, turn the weeds into the leaf umbrella, sell the leaf umbrella.
But the real
there's a lot of
the real trick though is to just wait, just to store, because there's only so many material in the game. Like you're not mining like 100 types of stone. It's just a couple. That's it. So if you just have tons of it, wait for the hot item to be something you have that's able to be made with very little. You can always test it to see how much they're going to spend for what you're building, and then compare like how much goes into it compared to how much you're making, and then just mass produce what you want. You'll just make so much money.
Yeah, there's what I've done. So in the game, without time traveling, I already have the full final upgrade to my house. I have every room, and the way at which that final upgrade costs $2.5 million or bells. And the way to do it legit is either by doing stuff like that, being on top of the turnips. Definitely Tarantula Island is very helpful. Or spawning bigger fish out into the sea. If you already catch it, then resell them. Literally, when I'm not playing the game, like where I'm not like have anything else to do, it's just how many bugs can I go catch right now that are valuable and sell them, and that just turns into its own like all night session of just going to new islands and hopefully getting able to spawn tarantulas and then sell a whole bunch. Because right now I have 4 levels of pocket space, so I have plenty of room to carry all those bugs, and you could easily sell, if you fill up your whole bag at like 3 or 4, you can make almost $500,000 right there. So it takes a while, but it doesn't take too long if that's what you're just trying to seek out and do.
Let's go to some of these super chats here. We have C saying, what's your biggest direct disappointment? I guess that's from this past direct.
The same thing it's been for the past year and a half. No, Metroid Prime Trilogy, but that's the pain of being a Metroid fan, I guess.
Metroid Prime Trilogy does need to be announced.
Honestly, dude, where the fuck is it?
It would be nice. It would be nice to get that announced. Yes, that would. Yeah, I guess no Metroid in general would be my big disappointment right now.
Yeah, really.
Man. Or just retro. Actually, the biggest disappointment should just be no Retro Studios.
True.
Anyone else got any big disappointment? We're going to talk about the direct soon anyway, but anything that springs to mind?
And there wasn't really much in it I was looking forward to, so see how it goes as they
I
release.
thought it was a fine direct.
Mr. Pete says, did Sean eat raisins again? We'll go with that.
No, he's out there deciding the meat of the week.
Serious decision.
Cedric says, OJ, when you play 1v1 matches on Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Online and you win the first game, do you dip out or give the option for best 2 out of 3?
And you should definitely play. People who dip out are so yeah. It's so disrespectful when people do that, because like they probably know that you're gonna lose or something like that, so people leave. But no, anytime that I win, if the match is clean, like if it's not laggy or anything like that, if it's a clean match, don't leave. At least give the person a set, at least minimum. Give him at least minimum. Give him a set. Don't leave afterwards. But no, I never do that. I always play.
Then we have Matthew Hammond saying Primrose is the best. 100 experience on a boss is nice. Turbo says Rich at Review Tech, don't know how to hit you up, Spawn. Oh, for the pod. He's been on the podcast a couple times. We can have Rich back on.
Yeah, he'll probably show up in the chat. He's been watching.
He's always watching.
Wasn't he on like 2 weeks ago?
He was in the chat last week hanging out.
A little longer. Yeah. He's been on recently though. Yeah. Corsonic says, I'm not interested in time travel because I like a challenge. Nick says, with the popularity of Ring Fit and having already had Wii Fit in Smash, is Ring Fit Trainer or Ultimate DLC a far out idea or maybe a possibility, like bringing them into like Smash at some point?
I think Ring Fit Lady is definitely a possibility for Smash. Like that might be a character. I think so. I think another Pokemon from the newest gen is a chance, but I also think like Ring Fit Lady could definitely get in that game. If there was stock, I think if there was even more stock, that game would be doing even better than what it's doing now. So yeah.
What about Labo Robot?
Labo Robot?
I'm surprised it's not in there already.
Maybe she uses Labo. She acts like some of her attacks. They kind of just they let her use the Ring Fit thing in Labo. But I think she'd be pretty cool. She could like throw that ring like Captain America. That'd be dope.
Justin says, I'm currently working on a GameCube collection. What's a good price to pay for Pokemon Gale of Darkness? I've been seeing between $60 and $70, but I feel like that might be high, or is Coliseum better?
I wouldn't go any higher than like 40 or 50.
I was going to say like mid 40s is probably what you'd find it for. 45 is an average cost of that game.
How complete is it though?
Even complete, you know.
Yeah, is it? I see Gale of Dark. I look for Gale of Darkness occasionally because I don't have that one right now, but I do look for it occasionally, and I'm almost positive it has been rising in price over the last year. I haven't looked at it recently though.
Yeah, I just saw one at my local shop the other week before everything closed down, and they had one there for 45. That was clean. That had...
Oh, this is Discord.
I would jump at it.
That was bad.
Yeah, if it's like 45 or 50, I would jump on it right away. And I think I do think it's better than Coliseum because I just like that it's an original, kind of like an original story for Gale of Darkness. Then we have young OJ says, excited for Pod Racer on Switch. Now need Rogue Squadron. That's what Nate was saying was Rogue Squadron, right, Nate?
Yep.
So is this a remaster? Did they say? Because I've been hearing mixed things.
They didn't say anything yet.
It's kind of if it's like what's on Good Old Game or GOG, it's probably just like a port and it just is cleaned up. Apparently there's like split screen, and then the Switch, for some reason, not the PS4 version. They just said the Switch version has LAN play. I guess that's just because wireless, like you just wirelessly connect them. It's interesting that they didn't leave that feature on the PS4 version, but it looks like it's going to be almost the 64 version, just kind of moved over and cleaned up. But it's on PC now, and it's like that. It's pretty cool. So let's and then do a shout out to Tyler's coworker, son Hudson, huge fan. Shout out to Hudson. Let's go over here. Evan, we have another Discord question before we get into some of the topics.
Let's go with favorite online co-op game. Any current gen console. He's looking for something to play other than COD with his friends. He also gave a shout out to everyone who loves their content.
I mean, I feel like Borderlands is always a really good co-op game, Jordan, right?
Yes.
You're gonna say that right away. Yeah.
Borderlands is fantastic.
I mean, just because you can play all the way through it together.
Yeah, and the game gets better the more players you have with you, especially if you're all different characters. It's fun, good time. You have a full party, all the different.
Yeah, Borderlands is probably one of the better co-op games this generation. Anyone have anyone off the top of their head that they can think of right this second?
Diablo?
Yeah, Diablo is a good one. Any of those kind of games, yeah, Diablo is good.
I don't have any friends, so.
I'm a hermit crab. I just want to be left alone.
Man. Yeah, Diablo is a good one.
Monster Hunter. Boom, in the chat.
What about that one game I haven't played, A Way Out?
I still can't believe that's from EA. Like, I'm shocked that was from EA. Like,
yeah, really.
That still blows my mind that was an EA game. That they let them do that.
That's crazy.
Okay, let's go to the Nintendo Direct Mini. This aired on Thursday, as some of us were expecting. Others were not expecting it. But
Noah was expecting a mini,
quote unquote.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. No, maybe people weren't expecting a mini. I don't know. But it was about 30 minutes. I mean, what constitutes a mini now?
The announcements, I guess. That's what people are going back. But I was like, as far as announcements, like they still touched on a lot of big things. It wasn't like them announcing a new game or talking about Metroid or Bayonetta or a new Mario, which that would have made it a regular direct, I guess. But in a mini, we got Smash information, Pokemon information, Animal Crossing updates. Like, still got some decent amount of information.
No Wii U port. So was it really a mini?
No Wii U port. Oh man, we were all expecting a Wii U port too. We expected Wii U port every single direct at this point.
Yeah, really.
I'll take the Wii U port, and then I will counter that with Clubhouse Games 51.
This game.
That's the
best announcement of
it. Had bowling.
Yes.
What is it with this game?
The game's going to be great.
It's going to be awesome.
Oh man.
One of those games in that reminded me of like the first Wii U trailer we saw. They were playing that on the gamepad. Does anyone remember? It was like
that's what he's talking about.
Oh, okay.
Clubhouse games or something.
Yeah, the Clubhouse games, they're like that game like with the white checkers and the black checkers, and like two people are playing on like one of the thing that they showed off at the the Wii U's reveal back in 2011. It's like the same game or whatever.
It only took them 9 years to give us what we want.
Only 9 years.
Yeah.
We did have a lot of shadow drops, which was cool. The demos we talked about already. Trails of Cold Steel 3, by the way. There's a demo for that as well. If anyone missed that, I downloaded. I have not played that yet either. And then strangely 2K, does anyone know why 2K is releasing all of their collections on the same day?
Because something's going to get delayed.
There. Yeah.
But what if nothing gets delayed? What if it all just comes out on the 29th?
Then they are going to have wallets are going to be empty, and 2K is going to say shit.
SD card's about to get full because they want you to download like 80 to 90 gigabytes worth of stuff.
Plus The Last of Us 2.
Plus Xenoblade Chronicles.
That's Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. Yeah.
That is a packed day.
That stuff for that was cool.
Day
in the direct.
If everything drops on the same day.
Yeah, I bet you something gets delayed.
I mean, all the games are catering to a different audience. I mean, BioShock and Borderlands and XCOM, they don't really overlap. So
I would say XCOM's the odd one out.
Yeah, I mean, we're all weird, so I mean, there's probably some of us who will buy all of those, but the majority of people aren't going to pick up all 3 of those releases.
Yeah, most people. But I was.
And are they full 60 or are they 40?
50.
Oh, yeah, 50. Borderlands is 50 because you can already pre-order that.
That's all right.
Or you can buy the games individually. You can go on the eShop and buy which one you want.
Okay, I like that option too. But
which one out of those collections would you guys have to, if you had to pick one of the collection other than Jordan? Because Jordan would just buy Borderlands. Which one would you buy? There's XCOM collection, there's Borderlands collection, and then there is BioShock collection.
Wait, does XCOM come with both games? It just comes with the second game.
It's just XCOM 2, right?
It's just XCOM 2 with all the DLC.
Because they call it like the XCOM 2
Complete Edition or something.
Completed. That's what it is. Yeah.
Okay. Why do you got to assume I'm gonna choose Borderlands?
Because you're gonna choose Borderlands.
I mean, I definitely want Borderlands on there, but it's not. I don't need to buy it day one because other games that day I want to play. What if I want to play BioShock 2 on my Switch?
Why wouldn't you just play the first one?
Because I want to play
BioShock 2 at all.
Whoa,
maybe I want to.
It was underrated.
It's underrated. BioShock 2.
I'll take my leave now.
But if you could pick BioShock 1 or 2, you'd play the first one.
Fair enough.
What about Infinite? I like Infinite the most.
I don't know about
Infinite
that. I don't know
Infinite's
if
fantastic.
Yeah, I think Infinite's the best one out of it.
Why
Why
is everyone assuming my choices tonight?
I'm not assuming. I just said Infinite's dope.
I think
Fringe, we had a 99% chance that you were going to pick Borderlands, but like XCOM, that 1% miss.
Yep, you missed.
Us.
Yep. I'd probably have gone with the BioShock.
Me too.
Collection myself.
Yeah, and I'd replay 2 to see what all the fuss is about. Like, yeah,
2 hands.
2 hands. Yes, exactly. 2 hands. That's true.
2 hands. Not just one hand anymore. You got 2 options.
Then we had EA is putting Burnout Paradise Remastered on the Switch. It's $50, by the way.
I don't know.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's dumb. I hope no one buys it for that price.
And then EA says, hey, how many of you buy this game determines if we support the Switch or not again. And I'm like,
oh man,
okay, whatever.
The only reason why they're putting out it on the Switch is just to try to somewhat appease investors that are hounding them, which we've seen, by the way, are kind of like, why aren't you guys putting out anything on there? This is the only reason why they're doing it. Just
they want them to put the Sims on it, and they put Burnout Paradise instead of the Sims, and Animal Crossing is like lighting up sales charts, and it's like they're like, why don't you put the Sims on it?
Here's the thing, though, like the 2K games that are coming, those are gonna do good because those are all former, like you call AAA games, whatever the case is. People love that crap. Like people love Skyrim, and people love like the Doom on Switch and all. Even if it is lower frame rate or whatever, those games always do extremely well. So 2K is going to make a bunch of money off of these games, and investors at EA are going to be looking like, wait a minute, you guys have a bunch of old 360 games that you could be getting free money on too on the Switch because 300,000 people are going to buy this and make tons of money.
I could make the case for the value with like the BioShock collection, right? 3 games, even if it's like $50. I mean, there's good value there, but like. Yeah. Burnout Paradise Remastered, $50.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's so it's like they're not doing anything with the collections. They have a bunch of old games. Joey just said Mass Effect. They have a bunch of old games that they could put out and literally have like a ton of people. People would buy Mass Effect collection on the Switch.
Dude, a Dead Space collection.
Yeah, Dead Space collection.
Oh, don't do that.
Look at all the stuff that's just there.
There is. They have, aside from Xbox, where you can play Skate 3 by putting it in the system, right? Why hasn't EA, with how much people still play that game and still love it, just ported it?
Oh,
why haven't they just ported it? You know how much more money they would have made if they just ported it?
They should port that.
Dumb. EA, if you wanted to make $50 extra, that's how you do it. Not Burnout Paradise.
Just 50, nothing else.
No more than 50, even though you probably try to resell us all the DLC for twice.
I would buy Skate 3 again.
I 100% would.
EA is it's silly, and like I said, they're gonna see how these 2K games are gonna do really good. So it's just extra money for 2K at this point.
It's interesting to see that, yes. And then Saints Row 4, which Nate told us a while ago that was showing up. So there you go.
Came out yesterday, so
Yeah, it did. And then okay, so Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition looks really, really good right now.
I freaked out, by the way. I had a freak. I think I had a meltdown during the stream. Oh my gosh, man! I guess I'm the biggest Xeno fan here. Probably, I probably am. Man,
Well, I gotta assume that. What if I am?
How many of the games have you beat, Jordan? My bad.
0.
Okay, there you
I don't even own 1. 2.
What?
X?
You don't
I
own
own none
one?
of them.
come on, son.
The only version I have is the 3DS version. No, I'm kidding.
Oh man, that's the worst.
But I do want to play the definitive version because that trailer was.
It looks so good. I'm very happy with the changes to the font and the text.
Too bad it's just a port.
Too bad it's just a port.
Amazing.
It's just a port. It's just a port.
That's getting moved to their newer engine, isn't it?
Yeah, they're using the Torn of the Golden Country engine.
Oh, okay.
Which was adapted from the Xenoblade 2 engine, or which was basically the Xenoblade Chronicles X, which they brought that over to Switch. And then they basically made a bunch of new improvements to that engine, Torn for Torna. So Torna looks a bit better. And then now they're using that for this new one here. So
That's good, because like Xenoblade 2 playing that is just like sometimes it just looked like what 144p sometimes. It was kind of
it was definitely rough on portable mode. It was definitely rough portable mode.
Yeah.
And they made some changes. Torna looks a bit better portable mode, but I think with Definitive Edition they'll really kind of make sure the resolution's better.
Keep working on the engine and everything.
Yeah, just keep working on it. But yeah, definitely two was definitely rough at the beginning for sure.
See, now here's a question to you, OJ.
Yeah.
I played the hell out of Xenoblade Chronicles on the Wii. Where do you really see this epilogue tying in? I didn't expect it to be epilogue content.
No spoilers, but to me, I think it's going to be a connection. Obviously, Xenoblade 2, that's apparent, but I think it's also going to connect whatever they're going to do next.
You think future Connected is going to be connecting things?
Yeah.
no way.
That's
Big if
insane,
true.
dude. Okay, all right, honestly, this direct was not a mini direct. That's insane.
No,
Wow.
but I can't spoil it, so I don't want to say any spoilers of what happens and stuff. So that's why
I haven't even played the game, and I already know.
But it's how they do it. It's how they do that's different. But I think it's going to connect to Xenoblade 3 as well. People are thinking Xenoblade 2, and obviously that's the obvious connection. But I think Xeno 3 would be something that they're going to try to see if they can set that up as well.
They did say that the Smash character is going to be from ARMS. It was a strange announcement too. Like it was really weird. Like it's almost like spur of the moment. Like they were like, "Oh, throw this in there."
It kind of made sense if we paid it. Yeah, it seemed like they threw it into this mini direct at kind of like the last minute. It was like, let's announce that we're going to show the next Smash character in June. We're going to say it's from ARMS and show you the entire character roster. We're just not going to tell you which one it is because, really no explainable reason. But hey, if you have Nintendo Switch Online, you can play ARMS right now. It's kind of like, what?
Yeah, I forgot about that game.
It's obviously gonna be Springman. Let's be honest.
Nah, it's not gonna be.
It's going to be multiple characters.
But you're gonna get an assist trophy with Springman, and then Springman versus Springman.
Springman's already assist trophy.
How do you?
I know what I'm saying. It's the joke. Whatever.
Who else do they bring in then if it's not going to be Springman?
It's going to be Twintel.
It's going to be a couple of
If it's not
characters.
Twintel, I will riot.
It's going to be Twintel. It's going to be like Jordan said. There's going to be Twintel, Ribbon, and maybe somebody else, and it's going to be like skins maybe for him.
Yeah.
And then like you can just pick which one you want, and then they change the
That seems like the way to do it, honestly.
I like how it almost sounded like they left a pause in there, like they would announce it right away. They're like, and it is gonna be announced in June. Like they let that like pause on there intentionally. Everyone's like, wait, are they really about to do this right now?
I thought like a cutscene was gonna happen, like how they usually do it, but
yeah,
it's
like it would just cut open with the smash ball and go into a trailer or something. Nope, nothing. And Sakurai be there like, it's this character. Nothing.
Catherine Full Body is coming in July 7th. I'm looking to grab this right away because this
Me
game,
too.
I liked it on the 360.
Catherine Full Body is awesome. That means the Persona engine is on Switch now.
Is it the same?
What does it all mean?
I'm just ready to troll hardcore crazy PlayStation Persona fans in my next video. No, I'm just setting it up. That's all good, guys.
Damn, son.
Because I like to troll them every month or two or so. So I'm getting ready for the next troll video on them. Don't worry.
Catherine Full Body. That if you've never played it, I like Catherine. It was good on the 360. So I'll probably look into it again on the Switch. You got it on the PS4, didn't you, Jordan?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it I think it's a game people should check out. We'll see if I'm curious if it flies under the radar in case anything else comes out in the summer around it. They talk about Ninjala. That's a free to play game. It kind of looks like it's pulling a bit from Splatoon almost a bit, kind of like an online 4v4 style game here.
Has yo-yos.
Free to play in May. I don't know.
I don't know either. When they said free to play, I was like,
OJ is the only one I saw excited about it when the direct happened.
But then they said free to play though. Then I was just like, oh, okay.
like hopes and dreams.
The concern is that those microtransactions going to take over. That's the concern.
Exactly, because I mean the game looks cool. I mean, it looks like it's a game like you just fight each other. I like ninjas, so ninjas are cool. So I was excited about the game, and then they said free to play. And I'm like, okay, well, let's just see what they do with the free to play thing. If it's not, like crazy, like in terms of like the microtransaction, and if it's like legit or like normal like Fortnite or something like that, then I think they'll be okay. But if it like goes into a different type, like EA type of deals, with sometimes what EA does, or like like mobile games, that's when they're gonna have a problem, because this is the Puzzle and Dragon Z developer, so Gung Ho, or that's it's them. They're not necessarily known for that. Puzzle and Dragon Z came over to the Switch and came over to Nintendo platforms, and they don't really microtransaction it or anything. Like, it's not bad. Puzzle and Dragon Z on the Switch and on 3DS, like they don't do anything crazy, even though they do that on mobile. So I mean, like it's not like they've been bad, like in terms of bringing stuff over. But we'll see. But I mean, it's free to play, so I'm gonna try it out for sure.
And then there were a bunch of games that they just kind of went through and announced. Evan, are you familiar with King's Bounty 2?
Not really, no. I did see that, but I don't even know if I have any friends that played it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I hadn't been familiar with that at all. And then
we better give one particular game special attention here.
Is it Mr. Driller?
Yes,
okay.
It is.
What looks good about that to you, Nate?
Everything looks good. That's a great series.
It's out June 25th.
Hell yeah. And
okay. All right, good. Then they did show Minecraft Dungeons, of course. That's out in the spring, which apparently that game's pretty good as well. I thought they had a big preview on Windows Central.
By the way, the original King's Bounty was a Sega Genesis game that came out in the early 90s. So this is a little interesting that they've brought back a sequel for this game.
Okay, King's Bounty 2. It says since 1990, the King's Bounty series has been influencing the evolution of Western RPGs.
How true of a statement is that? It kind of seems like a blanket statement. How can we prove that? Because the way they said it in the direct, I'm like, I feel like everything says that. It's like when you see a movie and it's like, this is the #1 movie in the world. Like,
but we did have Bethesda drop the big announcement about Elder Scrolls Blades.
Oh, thank God.
Ooh, yes.
Sure, everyone was excited about that when they saw. Yeah, no, that's Evan, you familiar with Warhammer 40K Mechanicus?
Mechanicus, no, but it looked a little bit like Inquisitor.
Okay.
It seems interesting.
Okay, that's out in May. And overall, I'm looking back at this Direct Mini, and there is definitely no like massive Nintendo first party new announcement, nothing like that. So I assume that's why it's being viewed as a mini. That's what you were trying to say.
Yeah, like because other directs, they've like at this time especially, they've given like hints on what's to come past June, in the last quarter or last half of the year, but this time we didn't get that, and I think it's really because at this point Nintendo doesn't know what's going to happen if this crisis continues for longer than we're anticipating.
Yeah, because Nate, you mentioned that there's some uncertainty when it comes to that right now, or just some scrambling in the background currently with the
they even put out
around the virus.
Yeah, they put out the beginning of the mini direct where they said even any release date you're seeing right now is subject to change. We really don't know what's going on with marketing departments, localization, testing, the development studios that have been shut down, how far they go with games. And it's not just limited to Nintendo, obviously. It's Sony, Microsoft, every third party, every indie. So there's a lot of uncertainty moving forward for any release. And basically anyone's expectation for 2020, anything you thought was going to happen this year, throw it away.
So Nintendo's not going to release games at all, is what you're saying.
No more games. Like everyone was saying a couple of weeks ago, Animal Crossing is the final game from Nintendo. But now we know that Xenoblade.
Finally, Xenoblade's coming out at the end of May. Yeah.
What a way to go out, though. Honestly. Right?
Well, now everyone's assuming that Nintendo's not going to do anything until like June E3 time for a direct.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
It makes sense on the timescale of things, but I wouldn't say that's going to necessarily be true.
I was just curious about if that's what everyone is thinking right now. Is that
it's not? I think something will happen, right? I mean, we're almost into April now, so there's only really 2 months.
I think something will happen too.
Yeah, I think
they'll drop something on Twitter.
Oh, like Xenoblade's coming out. That's something that is the event, right? Xenoblade.
Yeah.
I think they have a direct before June because we have to remember on May 7th is when they're going to have their investors meeting to brief for their fiscal year. I think we're going to have additional content dated for the upcoming fiscal year before that event takes place. So I could see something happening, be it April or even early May, ahead of what they would have hosted in June.
I could see that too. And I mean, it could be a quote unquote Twitter direct even, where they just go on like a string of tweets and they're like this, and this, and we're going to go talk to our investors now. Or maybe they do have like a 15-minute thing. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe even another like mini. I would expect something to happen between now and May 7th, I would say. So next 6 weeks, I would expect something else from Nintendo.
Yeah, I think so too. I think something will happen from Nintendo. So, and it'll be interesting to see what that is. But I think they will have something else ready to go. And then E3, of course, we assume they'll do E3 that time, that they'll have something big too. So, the mini is just kind of to hold people off for another month or so.
Mm-hmm.
So, and get a lot of third-party stuff out of the way. I mean, that would have been, if they put all of that into like a general direct, that'd have been a lot of stuff in one. Like that'd have been like a 50-minute direct then, because they would have had a bunch of first-party stuff on top of that. So
yeah. I mean, I think maybe people would have been happier had they done that, because like the direct mini, I'd say it was a solid presentation, but because we hadn't had a real direct, as some people would say, from September until now, I think especially as it just shadow drops on a random morning, there was nothing new in terms of Nintendo except for Clubhouse games, which I still think is going to be an awesome release. So expectations for this direct were sky high, and it probably just didn't reach those expectations, though it was solid in its own, by its own right.
Yeah, I was kind of like a little disappointed in it, of course, because you know me. But no Metroid Prime Trilogy, of course, it's a bad direct. That's the rule. But I would have been more disappointed if they announced this like the day before or the day before that. And I understand why it was the way it was, because I'm sure if they wanted to, if this whole COVID-19 crisis didn't happen at all, we'd probably have a quote unquote real direct in March. But as it is, the future's uncertain.
I'm hoping that when it is Metroid's time, we get like an entire a year of Metroid. Basically, that's what I'm hoping.
Yes,
when that does happen. I'm hoping like
Metroid, nothing else. Get out of here.
Well, like that would be the big year would be for Metroid. Like you get trilogy dropped, maybe you get a 2D Metroid, and then they really start talking about Prime 4 as well. That would be really cool. Like
a lot of Metroid.
Hey,
a lot of Metroid.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's like these past the first 3 months of the year, Animal Crossing fans got all the love, and they deserved it. So I'm just like, you know what? Give that to every franchise, please.
I mean, they could do those 3 releases over a span of like 2 years, Nate.
Yeah, if they start this year.
Yeah.
I mean, if you start doing Metroid stuff next year, I mean, you're going to run the risk of potentially I mean, say if we entertain the idea of Metroid Prime 4 come out in 2022, you have to kind of in the back of your mind be expecting that might be when we see a Switch successor drop.
Couldn't Metroid Prime, let's say it's really like they're really pushing the system, couldn't that end up being a cross-gen game then? Like it's for both basically?
It could be, but I mean, yeah. It seems like we always get that every single generation with Nintendo. Their last major release always ends up on their next system, like we had with the Wii. Twilight Princess was cross-gen. We had Breath of the Wild. So maybe this time it's Metroid. But I
mean, I'd be all right with that. Prime 4 from Retro Studios, returning to that franchise and really pushing the limits of this current Switch and then really showing off what the next Switch can do.
Yeah. You know what I was just thinking today? The Retro Studios staff's probably at home right now. Who knows what's going on?
I'm sure. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, because I know some offices, like not for games, but for in general, they just have less staff at the office and they gotta like stay separated and stuff. I don't know. Well, who knows what's going on?
Yeah. But that's that. I hope that's the case. Like when Prime 4 comes out, they got the limited edition system going on. They got the whole thing. So we'll see.
Yes,
we'll see. But I think the big problem I had with this mini was how they ended it. I think that, but because it was the Pokemon expansion. Like that's what and then they were like, see ya. I was like, oh.
Yeah, but we talked about that on your video the other day. How do you end this one? I mean, what do you think the big thing to end
that's the problem. Was? If I really look through this, I mean, you can't date Xenoblade as I mean, you could, I guess you could end with Xenoblade if you really wanted to and show the date as May.
You end it with Clubhouse games, guys. Have you learned nothing?
You could. I mean, I almost feel like you could date it though. The Xenoblade as the final thing.
That got leaked, man. Everybody knew it was kind of coming.
Yeah.
I thought like everyone was. Point. I think earlier this year I heard people saying, "Oh, when's Xenoblade coming out?" And I'm like, did they say in the first direct it would be summer?
No, they never gave.
It was announced.
They just said 2020, but there was multiple retail listings. There was an ESRB rating. So like there was so many retail listings that had it for May 29th on top of the ratings. Like I think I made 3 or 4 videos just on that alone, just talking about like it's going to be May 29th. Like I made multiple videos saying May 29th is the date because of the retail listings.
I mean,
the ratings.
You could end it on that date, or I'm looking through anything that was semi impactful here. That
Burnout Paradise. That's a good ending.
I mean, I wish Panzer Dragoon was a bigger thing because they could have finished up with that and been like available now. I don't know. There's really no. They would have had to have added something. Like there would have been
nice
here.
Oh, they could have ended it with a release date and like a new trailer because they've been kind of adding trailers in every direct for this recently for No More Heroes 3.
Okay.
Like a quick little and they could easily move it back from this date, but just give something there so people have something to talk about at the end.
Oh, what would have been sick is if they had Silk Song dated and they ended with that.
Oh yeah,
that'd have been crazy. Otherwise, No More Heroes 3 that could have worked if they had a date ready for that. But they might not even know a date for that.
You know what? They should have ended it with the Metroid Prime trilogy.
Yeah. Come on. They just need to get that thing out there already.
I'm dying over here for it.
Maybe we'll see that announced in like March 2021.
Or could they have finished it with a Wii U port, like a Pikmin 3 or like a 3D World?
I don't think those.
They easily could have.
Direct format though. I think that's kind of the issue.
I mean, the mini direct from 2018, we saw like 3 Wii U. Are you saying ending it with a Wii U port?
I'm just trying to think of how they ended.
They ended it with, I think Dark Souls was the announcement back.
Yeah, they did.
That's right. You're right. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, we were promised a Switch port, and we got it after the other ports. Good
that
lord.
Mini direct wasn't. I mean, it was okay, but I thought this one was much better personally than the 20.
It had more content.
It was longer. Yeah.
See, like the only reason
the last mini direct. Didn't that have aces, or was that not a?
That was
it had
aces.
So a mini direct still had a major announcement, technically, right?
Yeah.
Was it that major though?
It's a sports game for Mario.
Is it though?
It's a sports game.
I mean, it's better than Ultra Smash.
Yeah, Jordan's right.
Aces, you're not wrong.
Aces was a pretty big deal for a lot of people for like a whole month, and then no one talked about it
for a whole month. I don't know.
Bold.
It was a multi-million seller. I mean, that's big for it.
No, it was Aces was good. I just think that like seeing like Bravely and seeing like Xeno, and then I think the Borderlands games, like having all those, even though yes, those are old, but like that's just way more content for people to play than like one game. One game.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, the problem with the Pokemon ending it, I think it was just because it was announced in January. Had it not been announced and that was the actual initial unveiling of the DLC content and such, it would have had a bigger impact. Instead, it was like, well, we just saw this like 5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Did we really want a second update this soon?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Did anyone else fast forward when they showed off more Marvel Ultimate Alliance DLC? I'm just so done hearing about that game.
Yeah, I'm not.
You fast forwarded the Fantastic Four?
Yes.
I'm kind of done with that. I'm kind of done with that too. Yeah, the Ultimate Alliance. I mean, it was great when I played through it the first time, and then a few other times with some of the other characters. But I've kind of been burned out by it at this point.
Yeah.
Burnout?
Yeah. Evan, do we have any Discord questions?
With Animal Crossing out, Xenoblade coming, what is the holiday game for the Switch to try to compete with the new systems?
Mario Tennis Aces 2.
The Switch is canceled.
I've been trying to figure out what it could be. I was between, because I don't think Zelda's this year. I think that's next year.
Mario Party?
Are you sure?
The new Mario Party. Yeah.
Are you sure? You're not 98.6% sure that the
I am
98.76%
sure it won't come out this year.
7% sure because of the Nintendo Direct Mini that Zelda's going to be coming out this year. Are you sure?
I need to watch that video. I'm curious.
No, I watched the video. It was not a bad video. I just thought it was funny. I was joking.
I think Zelda's next year. And I think Mario. I think a Mario game of some kind is the holiday game this year. Like Mario Kart keeps getting brought up.
By you.
I'm about to source myself. I was thinking like a Mario title, like a Mario Kart, or even a new 3D, like big time 3D Mario game, something like that for the holiday.
It's not Metroid Prime 4 though, so.
Yeah.
What are you talking about, dude? Metroid Prime 4 is coming out in June 2019.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people are expecting like a 2D Metroid for the holiday. I wouldn't expect that either.
That's not a holiday game.
I think 2D Metroid makes sense in the first half of the year, like first half of next year kind of thing. Yeah.
Don't release a Metroid game next to Halo again. Goddamn.
Do it. I mean, at the same time, I mean, the Pokemon content is fairly substantial coming out this holiday too. So I mean, Nintendo's going to leverage Pokemon probably again this holiday.
What about wait a minute? How about this? What about Mario Odyssey 2? It's been 3 years. I think that's a possibility.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, it's a big 3D Mario game.
Hey, you'll find out. You'll find out in June.
Yeah, in June. But also
maybe you find out before June. I don't know. We were just saying it could be an event before.
Yeah, maybe we're gonna find. Hey, we'll find out this year if it comes out this year.
They could drop an entire like holiday titled theme direct, like figuring out what the title is finally.
You think Bayonetta 3 is coming out this year?
If Bayonetta 3 does not make 2020,
it better come out this year.
Does that game
actually, I hope it doesn't, because I love seeing some people get so angry about it.
I do not want to. I mean, if we go into January of 2021 and it's been 3.5 years since they announced the game, like, come on, don't do that shit. At least if it's not gonna come out this year, at least show us.
I think it's a January, February, or March release of a year. I don't think it's a holiday game.
All I know is Bayonetta. This better be the craziest game. Like they haven't shown us anything about it. There has to be some crazy new mechanic or twist or idea to this game.
Maybe they can kickstart it to help it along or something.
Yeah. Remember when they announced Astral Chain and then what's his name? The guy, whatever. Yeah, that guy. He was just like, so this is from Platinum Games. You probably want an update about Bayonetta 3. Well, it's coming along smoothly. Anyway, the next thing we're talking about, and I'm like, okay, they're not. Yeah, this ain't happening.
Oh,
I mean, Nintendo's obviously going to have some good games coming this year. I mean, we've heard we're still waiting for the Pikmin 3. We're still waiting for 3D World. We're still waiting for the rumored Paper Mario.
Where's Paper Mario? Come on.
I mean, something's going to happen. I don't think we'll get an Odyssey 2 necessarily this year. I would probably see that more as a 2021 game. Maybe we get a new 2D Mario in 2021. But I mean,
New Super Mario Bros. 3.
I think it's going to be something. I think Mario, because
I think Mario plays a role in a holiday release, even if it's 3D World or something.
But you have to look at the development teams. Like, what have they been working on, right? Like, what have they been working on? How much time has it been? Mario Odyssey, it's been a while. What about that main EAD team? Like, what are they working on? Mario Kart, it's been a long time. I mean, like they're definitely working on something. So I'm thinking it's got to be something like either like a Mario Odyssey 2 or like a Mario Kart, like a new Mario Kart game.
They haven't even had to
we-
make a Mario Kart for so long. It's been great to them.
But now
That
we
game
also
just
have to
keeps
kind of
selling.
like factor in, due to the virus situation going on, would their holiday development right now, is it being delayed? Are those games being reshuffled and possibly being pushed?
That could be why we haven't seen any of those Wii U ports yet.
So it's like we really don't know what's going on behind the scenes as far as development and testing. So even if they did have, big Mario game penciled in for, let's say, October, if that now hasn't been touched for the last 2 months, they might be sitting there saying, crap, we might not get it out this year. But at the same time, Nintendo's that company who they've probably been sitting on friggin' Pikmin 3 in 3D World now for 6 months.
You mean 4, right?
Well,
Wouldn't that be great?
yeah, that'd be incredible.
Yeah, no, they're gonna bring the Wii U one over.
Yeah.
Yeah, of
They've
course.
had it
Can you
for so
imagine?
long, it seems.
The big holiday titles this year are going to be like a couple Wii U ports. It's like, guys, we have big stuff for the holidays. What do we got? Pikmin 3 and Super Mario 3D World. All right, see you next year.
Devil's Third, though.
Please.
I wouldn't rule that out at all, honestly.
Oh, I'm not rolling out. I think we're living in that timeline now.
I think this year is so uncertain about what is going to drop that I would say that we would probably expect the Wii U ports to come this year, but anything other than that, I think may get pushed to next year. So I think there's a really good likelihood that we'll see only Wii U ports this year.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what's a Wii port? Metroid Prime Trilogy. Come on, where is it?
That's the
Okay.
passion.
Let's
I
go.
like, you typed in the chat when you did that.
I did.
Yeah, he put his.
I didn't even hit my keyboard. What the fuck?
You put 0.
That's the amount of chance that Metroid Prime Trilogy or 4 come out.
Fuck you, Fringe.
Damn, man.
Let's go over to Animal Crossing, which appears to be Nintendo's biggest franchise now. It's all over. It's Animal Crossing now, apparently.
That's it.
Animal Crossing somehow in Japan in like 3 days sold apparently 2.5 million copies in just Japan.
Yeah, that's about right.
That is a lot of copies of a game.
I mean, did people expect it to do less?
Yes.
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 A lot of people did.
Baron,
Dude, no, you can't say you expected Animal Crossing to be Nintendo's best-selling game ever opening
Japanese debut.
in Japan.
Yeah.
There's a
I
chance that it's their best-selling game opening ever. There's a chance.
There definitely is, and like some of the the stuff that's kind of coming out. Like I said, I don't have any big tracking sources outside of just a couple of friends that work in retail, but everything's been shut down, so we can't even track that accurately now.
Nate, there's this game crushed Pokemon in Japan.
Hey, well, wait, as a single SKU or
Over
multiple
in general,
SKUs.
complete multiple SKUs, the whole thing.
Overall, like I think
Yeah.
Pokemon was 1.6 million in the first 3 days in Japan, and
that's
Animal
between
Crossing
two
did-
of them.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, Animal Crossing kind of hit at the
together.
perfect time. I mean, we're in a grim reality, and what's better than living in a carefree, happy-go-lucky world where you get carried home by a tarantula?
And
In a
your
time,
mortgage has no interest.
in
you
a
know?
time where you have to kind of be unsocial, it's the best way to still be social.
It is the
And it's
$60
nice.
messaging app for the Switch. It's pretty good.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
fantastic. There's also a thing called Discord.
You know, the Nintendo execs was sitting in the conference room like, nah, I'm not saying COVID-19's good or anything.
You know
But
what's
damn.
you know what's interesting is Animal Crossing is because it's so interesting to pretty much everyone. Like everyone's so compelled to get this game, and you see they show the demographics for the Switch at times, right? They'll send out those surveys and stuff they take, and it's like 50-50 male and female for Animal Crossing.
Dang.
So if you
Yeah.
look online and stuff, you see men and women playing this game constantly. It's like it
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
But if you're a
It
man and
actually
if you're
has
over a
such a
certain age, I mean,
Oh, God.
you're just a baby apparently for playing Animal Crossing.
I did see something about that where they were like, if you're like an adult, you should just self-isolate if you play Animal Crossing. I think it was. I thought that was
Something like that.
Yeah,
It's
something
the irony that we can go into about that, but I won't.
Irony.
Animal Crossing's great, man. It doesn't matter what age you are, Animal Crossing's a great game. It's fun. The fact that it's selling so well, it's part. But I think the game was going to do amazing regardless, just because people have been waiting. The hype, the build-up. I think the game was going to do great no matter what. And on top of that, if you look at from Pokemon, the amount of unit sales that Nintendo's been doing since then, they have a bigger install base to access, right? So each game could potentially, like each next major release could potentially one up the last release just because the growing install base. Install base is the biggest, like it's one of the biggest things, right? Like that's why, I think Xenoblade's going to do way better than previous one because they just have way more units out there, and I think that each time that we get a new big release, we could one up it. Like Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild could be the next one whenever that comes out, so what
you're saying is Metroid Prime 4 better selling than Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying that.
I don't know. Honestly, Animal Crossing, I'm going to be curious the number they put out at the end of April, beginning of May, right? You said, Nate, is when they have their investors briefing.
Yeah, May 7th.
When they do that, honestly, Animal Crossing, I mean, it's only going to be 11 days of tracking, but it might become their second best selling game immediately on the sales charts, just behind Mario Kart.
I mean, the digital ratio of the game has to be insane.
It's
right
good.
now.
Yeah, it's
so. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if after the first full week of tracking, if the game's already at least, I mean, at this point, the game's probably over 7 million already.
You think that's, I was going to say 10.
I could see 10. I could see them reporting 10 million shipped for this fiscal year. So to the end of this month when they do their briefing. But like if the sell through, a little lower because the shipped is still going to be what they had in stores that maybe no one can buy.
Yeah.
So definitely over 10 million shipped, and I mean the digital ratio it has to be astronomical for them.
Yeah, they might report 14-15 million units immediately on it when they get to their investors. It's going to be very interesting to see that, especially if it's right there with Pokemon already. And this did also push systems, which is odd because I do remember there were a lot of shortages, but I guess they managed to get enough systems out there to kind of be right alongside Animal Crossing because the Switch sold nearly 400,000 units in Japan, and it has now passed lifetime date the Wii already in Japan. So the Wii sold 12.7, the Switch is at 12.8 million now.
Gotta pump those numbers up.
Yeah. So I mean, it's gonna end up I think probably being right around the 3DS number when it's all said and done for the Switch, which would be really good. So pretty good stuff there, I'd say, for Animal Crossing. I'm gonna be really curious to see how it continues to sell, or if it just kind of drops off because everyone bought it. So
no, that's Animal Crossing is evergreen as a tree.
Yeah, but how many can sell in Japan though? Like how many can they sell before everyone just owns it? Like in terms of gamers and stuff. Because like if you think about it, there's what 12.8 million Switch units there, and they've already sold 2.5 million.
But you're gonna have people who are going to pick up a Lite or a Switch just to get Animal Crossing. It's a system seller, and it's a game that just sells and sells. I mean, Breath of the Wild was in the top 10 in Japan since launch for the last 2.5 years. So
that's
Animal Crossing is just gonna sit there. Even if it's only 10,000 units a week, it's just gonna keep selling.
Breath of the Wild. Oh my gosh, Breath of the Wild, real quick. Breath of the Wild sold 1.5 million so far in its lifetime in Japan.
Now that seems low.
Well, it's a port from the Wii U.
Time to pack it up.
Yeah, it's like how many people own a Wii U? Huh? Where are those numbers?
I mean, you really
10.
put that in perspective.
People.
All of a sudden, you're like, oh wow, geez. Yeah. Animal Crossing is its own beast. Wow. What were we saying, OJ?
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I remember. I do remember. I remember. Oh, New Leaf was up until I think 2018 or 2019. Back when we had the media crate, New Leaf was actually still in the top, sometimes 20 sales. Animal Crossing New Leaf was.
I think I got a bump.
Yeah.
With the release of New Horizon too.
Yeah, I think it was in the top 50. Right before New Horizons came out. It was in the top 50 each week, which was stupid, but it was there.
Evan, do we have any Discord questions?
Still got a couple left, that are specific in reference, thoughts on the PETA article.
Oh, it was
dear God.
Oh no.
I feel like that was more for Sean, but he's not here.
Yeah, Sean made a video on that. I thought about it.
Can you believe what PETA just did? No,
I know. Sean
I
bit.
can.
I'm like, all right, here we
can.
go. Sean bit.
I
They
thought
do
about
this every time, every game that has anything to do with animals, even if it's just in the background. They're like, something's wrong with that. Can't have an animal in the background.
They had a problem with Mario Bros. 3. Mario Bros. 3. They went back to the Mario Bros. 3. Talk about
Bro, you're skinning these tanukis and you're wearing them.
like nobody needs to give them any more.
What's happening? Why you gotta be such a terrible person playing video games?
What they do with Pokemon? I forgot.
They made Flash games that.
Yeah, it was like dog fighting thing or something.
They said their first thing was like, you can't fish in real life, so don't do it in this video game.
What do you?
That's literally the first heading. It's like, you're not allowed to fish in real life, so don't do it in the video game.
Okay, but we're not cooking the fish in the game. We're selling it to make money, or putting it in
The people you sell it to see they cook it.
We don't see that though, so that's not on us. Hey, we're just a messenger.
Just because you see it, Jordan, doesn't mean it's not happening.
I mean, I turned a blind eye.
The article was just bad. It was really dumb. Like, so I don't get it. The whole thing.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you don't even pay any attention. It's what PETA does. They want
PETA
outrage.
stands for people easily triggered a lot. Okay, every time something comes out, they're just like and then
Not bad.
then nothing happens, and then the next game comes out and everyone goes, "Shut up, PETA," and they go, "Okay," and they come back 2 months later. It's the same cycle. It's not just, we gotta stop giving them attention. I keep talking about it. Like when they do good, there is good there. Like when like certain people on other platforms may or may not have allegedly abused animals on a live stream, their fight against them was justice. I'll give it up to PETA for that. They want to properly and how that should go. How they handle video games and other stuff online and movies and everything, they're awful. They're awful people online like that. So
it's just attention seeking, guys, because they know they can make money off of their brand. They're trying to get their brand awareness up whenever they talk about it, because video games are real. So it's
and then,
if they want to handle stuff that's in real life, I get that. That, like Jordan said, that's right. But whenever they talk about anything digital related, it's just to get clicks on their site. It's just to get their brand awareness up, to sell their T-shirts and all that crap that they do for their cause. I mean, I wouldn't even spend time on it.
And then people reply to them on Twitter and make a whole big thing. Then it gets
more followers.
And then Sean makes a video on it. And then all of a sudden, everyone's talking about PETA, and they have won.
Yeah, because it's I think it's
like right now as we're talking about it, they just won some more.
Yeah, they won some more. It was
Good.
Congratulations, PETA.
Let's talk about PETA from the Hunger Games. That character. Remember Hunger Games? No? Okay.
How about pita bread? Who likes pita bread? That's
yes.
Yeah,
You're
now
speaking my language.
Yes.
Pita bread is delicious.
I says now that Ring Fit is worth 300 and it was updated. We're gonna see more home workouts from the crew.
Yeah.
No way in hell.
The update actually kind of neat. It turned into a bit of a rhythm game.
I'm making a whole documentary about it.
Dude,
have you seen me play Guitar Hero? I sweat already. That's enough of work.
You sweat from moving your fingers?
No, like, duh.
Why are you doing all that?
Because he's playing Guitar Hero.
You gotta look
I sweat from playing DJ Hero. I don't know if anybody ever played that game.
Yeah, because you're doing.
But DJ Hero, it's like, why is that like a full body workout? I'm like, I'm done playing this game. I'd rather just go outside and run.
Rock Band drums, though.
Oh man, those were nuts back in the day.
Oh man, yeah.
I like Rock Band.
I like sitting and doing nothing.
So do I.
Juice Man Vaughn says that Clubhouse Games announcement was probably low key the most interesting game shown on the Direct Mini.
You're kind of right, though.
Well, there you go. All right. Nick says thoughts on Arlo's vid arguing Zelda holiday title. I haven't seen this video yet. What was his holiday title?
Zelda. Zelda.
Oh, I didn't know if he had like a title for it, or he's just saying that Zelda was.
It was that thing that I talked about. This is like I'm 98 point whatever.
Oh, I got you. I meant like I didn't know if they said that like he figured out the title for. Oh, the holiday release would be Zelda. I think Zelda's next. I think Zelda's next year.
I watched the video. I thought it was interesting, but yeah, I don't know if Zelda is going to be this year. I don't think they like Zelda. It'll come when it's ready. I don't think it's like because this and this and this equals this. It's Zelda comes when it's ready. If it's not ready for this year, then it's not going to come.
Well, that was the thing with the video. Like he kind of contradicted himself, sitting and saying, "Oh, Nintendo likes to announce their holidays, well in advance, but they also come out of left field with random announcements." Like, okay, how did you take a mini direct in March and come to the conclusion that Zelda has to be the holiday title based on what? Like, I mean, it's like I might as well say, oh, 2021's holiday title for Sony is going to be Last of Us 3, because why the hell not?
I think Breath of the Wild 2 would be like a year-long like marketing campaign for them, probably starting in January or even in September. If
they had any confidence in 2020, they would have slapped 2020 on the trailer at E3 last year.
I think it's an E3 announcement, and then the release date is going to be probably first half next year for
first
Breath
half.
of the Wild 2.
Interesting.
I'm gonna say not a holiday title. I'm gonna say first half.
Yeah, I still thought it was a holiday title. Interesting.
Let me tell you, I miss the days when Zelda was holiday title. The good old days of 2011.
I mean, we've said it before. I think they're gonna replicate what they did with the Switch launch, and they're gonna try to get Zelda out by March.
Okay.
If it falls to 2021, they're going to look at a March release.
Okay. All right.
Well, I mean, Animal Crossing did crazy in March, so I don't think they have a problem launching in March.
Yeah, March is a good month. People sleeping on March.
They're gonna pray for another quarantine situation.
I don't know about all that.
I think
You never know.
I still think Zelda might be a holiday, but you know what? I won't rule out that March release window.
It's possible. I think they. I mean, if they can get it done, I don't think anything's set in stone. I think with the
I'm 97.38.5% sure.
It's not set in stone yet. If they can get it this year, and if it works with what else they're doing, then okay. But I mean, you never know, right? Like, what about the other games? There could be, like I said, there could be some other big games that could be dropping. You know,
it's just like if Zelda's not this year, please just give us Bayonetta 3.
Yeah,
I think Bayonetta 3 is going to be like October or something like that.
I think it has a chance to be an between August and October release. If not, I feel early or next.
Also, Give Me Please a Witch. That's a perfect Halloween game. Come on, yeah.
I think there's gonna be something else for the holiday. So we'll see what happens there. Mighty Ryan
Crash
says,
Bandicoot Insane Trilogy 2.
any genre of game you would like to see Nintendo do that they currently don't offer? I would want an MMO set in the Zelda universe.
I want a very gritty M-rated Mario game. No. Oh man, that's a good question.
Something that they don't do. I mean, maybe a good shot at, like, I know they're gonna Metroid Prime, but like a serious shot at like a first person shooter.
I was just gonna say
Prime 4.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too.
Because I'm just trying to think of things they don't do. Survival game, interesting.
I was gonna say survival horror game.
Oh, okay.
Have you played Animal Crossing at night?
Tarantulas, man.
They just run out of nowhere. You're like, scary, man.
I still haven't caught a damn tarantula. I'm so mad.
That's how I'm making most of my income in the game.
Yeah, tarantulas are, what are they, like 8K for tarantulas?
8K.
Yeah.
Go to Tarantula Island, get them all, let's sell them.
Tarantula Island's awesome, man.
Only one can come at you at one time. So if one's chasing you, trap it. The others can't come after you.
Yeah, I'm thinking first person shooter. I'd like to see them take a shot at just to see what they do with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. I agree.
Maybe. Evan, you got a Discord question over there?
Let's see what we got. I mean, we kind of already talked. This guy's just wondering if Nintendo has any other big announcement coming, like that we maybe think.
Well, lucky for you, I have an insider. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Yes, Nintendo has big announcements coming.
I think every company does. I mean,
yeah, definitely. Microsoft's about to roll out the red carpet here soon.
I mean, Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, they all have big announcements coming.
Sony's going to show us what the PS5 box looks like soon.
Oh, finally!
Like the box, not the console, but the box you can buy the console.
This is the retail cardboard box.
They'll show us the color of the box, and I guarantee it's probably like blue, maybe.
Mark Cerny will be up on a podium talking about the dimensions of the box, where the cardboard came from, how it was made.
The box that we have here is very dimensional. If you open it and look inside, you can see that if you yell into it, 3D audio really is immersive. You can put this over your head and scream as loud as you want, and you'll hear it from every direction. Here's a graph.
Oh my gosh.
That's too accurate. I could listen to you go on for hours.
I'm gonna do my own presentation. I'm gonna green screen my face onto his and do it.
Jamie Maxwell asks, how do you get to be a guest on your show? Only 1,500 subs, a VGM covered channel, but would love to contribute. How do people get on this show?
Usually word of mouth. Like,
you don't want to know.
Hear from people.
You just
How many bells you got in Animal
Straight or
Crossing?
something, didn't you?
You know what we did? You know what we did for when was this? This was this a year ago? Maybe a little more. We had YouTube people from YouTube on that were like smaller creators. I think it was less than 5,000 subscribers, and we had like an entire
Hey,
month
that's
of
me.
that. maybe we'll bring that back, like for smaller creators that are under 5,000 subscribers, a guest each week in that kind of in that sense, where it's like small creators come on the show
That'd be cool.
for like an entire month. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
We'll look into that. Well, we'll try that coming up. We'll announce that when we're going to do it. Probably in like a month or so. We'll do that. We'll put it together and get some guests for that. Then we have Jamie Maxwell email. There's the business email on Twitter. Email that so we have you down for that, because I'm going to get a bunch of people together and pick some people out. Jose for life. Oh, we get Rax on for that too.
Rax on Rax.
He's coming back.
He's the Rax the Great.
Jose for life says, I still wonder how Activision didn't port any of the older Call of Duties to the Switch.
I'm
There's
saying.
that Modern Warfare 2 remastered got data mined yesterday. It's coming this year. It's on the way.
It's gonna be campaign only too.
Get ready. It might be multiplayer. There might be multiplayer.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay, I heard it was campaign only, but if it's campaign, I don't know.
Some of the data mining is pointing to some multiplayer in there, so I'm
Very
good. I'm
good.
interested now. I'm interested.
Me too.
Oh, I'm so down for Modern Warfare 2 because when I was at PAX East, my friend in the Airbnb brought his PS4 and he had the new maps that just came out for Call of Duty at the time, and it had for Modern Warfare, and it had Rust on there.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, and I looked at him, I said, no scope, quick scope knives? And he said, absolutely. And I haven't done that since like over a decade, so that was a great time, and I would love to have that back.
That's a game that would be pretty cool to have on the Switch as well, like Modern Warfare 2 come back as a remaster, just for them to put it. I thought they would tie it to the new Call of Duty as a pre-order bonus, because that's what
I don't think they're going to do that again.
They did that with Infinite Warfare and it was terrible.
Yikes.
So we'll see what they do with it.
Man, I was just thinking the Wii U has more Call of Duties than the Switch does.
It does.
Yeah,
It's true.
I mean, it makes sense. Why? Because the Wii U came out.
It has more Mass Effect games too.
Son of a bitch. It has more Devil's Third games.
Hopefully, we have some good Mass Effect talk this year, but later this.
We'll see.
Well,
Mass Effect Andromeda coming to Switch. God damn it! You have one job.
I think we'll be seeing an apology at some point this year from EA for Andromeda.
Let's hope.
Eric says next Direct Goose Game 2.
Yes, bring it on.
Jordan, what are you trying
Bring
to say
it.
over there?
Nothing, absolutely nothing.
Stuff coming? Mass Effect stuff coming?
Hey, just be on the lookout. It wasn't like it was supposed to be talked about this past month or anything, but
You heard it here first. Mass Effect stuff coming. Very nice. Skate 4 as well. Awesome. Thanks, Jordan.
Skate 4 in production, maybe.
Good stuff. Thanks, Jordan.
Yo, guys, remember Bad Company? Where's Bad Company 3? Just saying.
That is not in production,
Damn it!
as far as I know.
I
wish.
Oak City Gamer says Spawn Wave is the best on the news tip. Just the tip. There we go.
Yeah.
Sneak
Volume.
XCV says, ever watch or read Berserk? Evan.
Yeah, I mean, it's good.
I read
it's
it.
legit.
I read them.
Okay. And then we have Sokar says 2025, great news. Here's first look at Shin Megami Tensei 5. Oh no, man. When is that game?
sounds
When
about
is that
right.
game coming back? What happened?
Never. It's canceled.
No, I can tell you. I can tell you guys. You guys want to know?
Yeah.
Yes.
What's the percentage?
The thing about Atlas is that Atlas does this quite a bit with their games. This has been dating back to forever, especially with Persona 5. They take a long time. They announce things way too early, and they take 3 years plus to even the game.
We're at the
game
3
releases.
years.
Yeah, it could be that Persona. I think Persona 5 was like they first announced that in 2014 or 2013 or something like that.
I think it was 2014.
Yeah, so they take quite a bit of time. They're not as big as people think they are, maybe. I think, and they always have before they said they had issues with like the rendering of like the demons and stuff like that, but they went into full production in 2018. So it was announced in 2017, but full production didn't start till 2018. So pretty much they're going on 2 years now. It's going on like full production.
Oh man. Yeah.
So there you go.
If they're having trouble rendering demons, they should call id Software.
Yeah. Corsonic says we need Wind Waker for Switch, that or Ocarina of Time.
Why not both? Porque los dos.
Put them all on there. Absolutely.
Yeah, any Zelda remake. Man, I want to play Wind Waker, Twilight Princess on my Switch. Like, I'm tired of booting up my Wii U to play them. Like, come on.
Let's move over here to GameStop. GameStop reported losses, of course, because it's GameStop, but actually it wasn't as bad. That's actually GameStop's like new target now, is like it's gonna be bad, but as long as it's not as bad, right? Yeah, just not as bad. And it wasn't, because they reported their earnings fell 26.1%, but it wasn't as bad as the 27% that they were expected to lose. So they did it. But they're
positive note there.
Yes,
they're closing like a lot more too, right?
They're closing 300, at least 320 stores, as talked about on their conference call that they had on Friday. So yesterday after the market closed, and they are going to be closing stores because they, as they say, want to de-densify the areas, like where there's like 4 GameStops in like a 5-mile radius for some reason. Like, they're in my area, I could get to 3 different GameStops right now and not drive more than 5 miles to either one of them.
Man.
Some malls have 2 GameStops in them.
Yep. What? That's weird.
When does Reggie start? On the 20th?
20th of April, yes.
That seems like a long way away.
It does, doesn't it? It's like, where's Reggie getting here?
I don't even think Reggie could save this company. I'm gonna be real.
Oh no.
But what they're trying to do is just lower their overall, like basically their overhead down to a certain point where they can at least break even. I don't know. I wonder how many stores. So they have 5,500 stores now.
Dude, they need to start taking pre-orders for the next generation systems, don't they?
They want to bad, because they keep talking about these systems.
Yeah.
And I don't know when. I assume they're going to go on pre-order in June over the summer, right? That's probably when it'll happen. So they keep telling their investors, shareholders, everyone, oh, wait till the PS5 and the Xbox Series X show up in our system, and we're going to have these pre-orders for it. They are really hoping that these systems like push them over the top. So it's bad. Now they're not sure which stores are open or closed, and they're doing this odd thing where you go up and they do almost like this weird handoff of games at the door now. They like crack it open and they like reach a hand out to get your card. So it's interesting how that's working. Yeah, it's they just want to stay open. I mean, I guess it's like if you look at like restaurants, they're doing takeout right now. I guess it's kind of the same, right? It's like takeout for games. I guess. When do we get to a point where we can just do drive-through for games? How does that happen?
Man,
they did it. Redbox, but that kind of failed.
Yeah, that has like, I mean, you don't even have you have one person, I guess, going around to like restock and fix up the red boxes, right? And then even those are struggling. So
yeah, even that failed. I don't know, man. I think the digital world plus people just finding ways to get like Amazon or whatever, just like buying when you're at Walmart. That's what I do. It's like, hey, I can get food and games. Like,
yeah. And Walmart is super competitive because they'll make some games like Animal Crossing was $50 there.
$50. I saw, dude, there was like, people. People buy games at Walmart, even though buying games at Walmart is so horrible. It's like the worst experience. But people are like, man, I saved $10 and there's French bread. You know, I'm good.
I hear you can still find copies of Metroid Other M on sale for like $35 or more.
Yep.
Jesus.
You sure can.
Good Lord.
Hey, the Walmart, there's a video going up tomorrow by a certain channel. Walmart is selling Xbox One X's for $230 right now.
Oh, geez. I wonder what channel is going to upload this.
That is a good deal. That is a good deal. They already sold out on eBay. Now they're starting to show up at Walmart and Newegg. So just a heads up for anyone who wants an Xbox One X on the cheap.
It's almost like Xbox is gearing up for a new console or something. I don't know.
On the cheap.
Would you recommend buying that right now, though?
You know, I thought about this. I'm like, maybe, because the Xbox One X is apparently going to be supported for, they said 1.5 to 2 years after the Series X launches. So I guess if you bought it now, you would get a solid, we would assume, 2 years out of it. And if it's $230, an ultra 4K Blu-ray player, those are still like kind of pricey still.
They're stupid expensive. It's just like the X wasn't out yet, but when the 1S was out, I think it came out like 300, wasn't it? And like 4K Blu-ray players were like 400, and I'm just like, okay, it's no contest. You get just the 4K Blu-ray player for more, or the Xbox, which also plays games. Like, it's no contest.
Yeah, so like if you're looking for an ultra 4K Blu-ray player, in my mind I'm like, you might as well just get the Xbox One X at $200 to $230 and like call it. It came with like a brand new looking controller too, which is Bluetooth, so it would sync up to the PC here as well. So
and when it comes to
it's not bad.
And when it comes to the Series X, it's like you can play Halo Infinite with RTX or without. Doesn't matter to you. Think about it.
So I don't know. I mean, the condition it showed up in, I thought it was pretty good. But that is the question, though. Do you buy an Xbox One X now, or save for a Series X and buy that immediately for what could be $600?
Or
it comes out
their other system that's been rumored. Maybe they announced.
Oh,
that.
Lockhart. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Because that's. I mean, if that's cheap, then you can put that money towards that. But we don't. Obviously, we don't. There's no announcement just yet.
Mm-hmm. But it might. It's probably gonna be digital only, so you wouldn't get a Ultra 4K Blu-ray player.
Oh wait, it's gonna be digital only.
Oh yeah, yeah. OJ about to get disappointed at that.
I was about to say, never mind. Buy the Series X. Or...
Yeah, that's apparently that's one of the ways they're going to save money is removing they'll remove the Blu-ray licensing fees.
You know what? It makes sense though because of Game Pass and everything. And to be honest, like I've had a number of people that I know that actually buy the SAT edition because they bought it because it was super cheap and they can play PSO on it, and they can do Game Pass.
There you go.
So.
Good point. Yeah. Phantasy Star Online 2 is vastly different between the VCR and the X. Like, it's so much. When I see people's footage for the VCR, it is. I get a little sad actually. So
it's not that bad.
I'm saying that because MVG's playing it on the VCR.
It's not that bad. The frame rate's pretty okay.
Pretty okay.
Good-ish.
I just like because it has options for 4K menus on the X as well and much more solid frame rates.
Those 4K menus.
Yeah. Helps a lot. That's Evan, we got Discord questions?
For anyone that is currently switching over to stay-at-home kind of deal, is life any different for the content creation? I mean, for most.
It's more busier for me. Like I'm trying to keep busy with extra content, and I've been, just trying to keep everyone, entertained more now than I used to be. So for me, it's really more just business as usual, and giving everyone what they want, good entertainment. So
I go to the office occasionally because I see no one's there. No one's on the way there. I see no one when I go there. Basically, it's like it's like going through my house. Like I don't see anyone on the way there or anything. So I still go there occasionally, but for the most part, I don't know, set up camera and green screen. I'm good to go. I'm going to add some stuff back here and remove the green screen though. I already got all the stuff here, so I'm going to build it tonight.
I mean, if you really think about it, this is the time where YouTubers really, kind of shine with the situation.
Let me ask you this, MEG. You see all the people, I'm going to ask you right now, you see all the people on like the professional shows on TV attempt to now do streaming? Yeah,
like the weather people and stuff. They're in their like living rooms and doing
like I was watching like Skip Bayless had to they had to cancel Undisputed one day because he couldn't get his streaming stuff to work.
Yeah. I've been watching it. I've been watching it too. It's been pretty interesting to see them try to do that from their home. Their homes are beautiful, by the way.
Oh, it's nice, but then they get they're using they walked into Staples and got the Logitech C320 or something. They're like, I think this will work, and then they don't realize they need a microphone until afterwards. And they're like, oh, we couldn't use the webcam microphone.
They just sit in the most echoey room.
He's an idiot.
Dude, Skip is awesome. Stop.
What? No, Skip is terrible. He tried to imply Derek Jeter used steroids. That's insanity.
You're just being a crazy Yankees fan right now. Chill out. I'm a huge LeBron fan, and he literally thinks he thinks of LeBron.
He does not like LeBron.
Yeah, he's the biggest scrub in the world at times, man.
Skip Bayless is entertaining.
Skip loves the Dallas Cowboys. He's like, they're the best football team ever. Then they start to suck, and he's like, whoa, listen, Sharp. I never said they were going to be good. Like last week, you said they were going to the Super Bowl. What the fuck, Skip? Skip Bayless talks out of his ass.
He's just entertaining.
Skip Bayless is crazy.
We have another Discord question, Evan.
And as well with the state of things as they are, how do we picture this kind of backlashing onto game companies, especially with a lot of people now getting kind of out of work? So
Oh, you mean like
there's going to be less spending on games, basically.
There will be less spending on games. Yes, I think at least for the next maybe even year, I would assume it could be just I don't know, because Animal Crossing crushed it, so it's like I don't know. Maybe people are just turning to entertainment right now because it's like, what else do we do, kind of thing, you know?
I mean, it kind of depends on like Animal Crossing. Basically, it released at the perfect time.
Yeah.
But if I'm a studio who has bigger games planned and I cannot get those out, then I'm going to be impacted in a significant
movies
way.
are already pushing titles back.
Yeah.
So,
right. And that's the thing. Like if I'm Sony, let's say I can't get The Last of Us Part 2
Hold
out.
on, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that in a second.
God.
We'll talk about that in a second.
Listen, Skip.
Well, we can roll into that now, Nate, since you're about to drop that one, because I had a feeling it was going to be that or something else. But we've started to have more and more talks of Microsoft and Sony assuring people constantly now that the systems are going to come out this year. But what their reasoning for that is that the factories, I guess you'd say, in China and stuff are coming back into full swing of things, and they're starting to get back to normal for producing goods and manufacturing and all of this. But Sony mentioned that they're mindful of it possibly affecting their software. So there is now a question right now. People are asking, is the Series X and the PS5 both going to come out in 2020 as they've been advertised? And will Sony's first party games still come out on the dates that they're being advertised for currently?
If the games, we'll use Ghost of Tsushima and Last of Us Part 2 as the examples. If those games if they didn't go gold prior to the state shutdowns, then they will not make their intended release dates of May and June. I think
you're right. I think Ghost of Tsushima might get pushed to the fall.
I think even The Last of Us 2 has a good chance of being
delayed. They're going to delay that again? That'd be like
if it hasn't gone gold and they were still play testing certain aspects of it, it means they can't launch it.
Weren't they? There was those reports of them crunching really hard to even get it to into May, right?
Yeah. So I mean, based on those reports, it doesn't sound that promising that they would hit that date now, considering they're not at work. They can only do so much from remote. You can't play test from a remote location.
Not with that attitude.
It's going to be difficult, definitely, if they're crunching that hard just to get to the May release. I do wonder about that, but man, another delay for Last of Us Part 2 would be tough.
I mean, I think people would be understanding of this one.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's no solution.
What about the game itself, though? I mean, the story of that game right now is probably not something a lot of people are even thinking about wanting to play. Do you think that has any impact on when they would time this game to come out? Do you think that would change a possible release date, given you know COVID-19 and everything that's going on right now?
Wait, what's going on right now?
I could see them from like a marketing standpoint and optics, maybe saying this might not be the best time to release a post-apocalyptical virus outbreak type of game amidst a pandemic. Like, it doesn't look good. But then at the same time, I guess the counterpoint from the community or the audience would be, it's not reality, but maybe it's hitting too close to reality in the sense of there are similarities. I mean, we have Resident Evil 3 coming out next week. Is that bad optics of an outbreak during an actual outbreak? I mean, we're not going to turn into the friggin', Nemesis or anything.
Don't kill my dreams.
Yeah.
I
wonder
that next week.
Yeah, I wonder how many people, like the consumers, if you call it that. Oh, I hate that I said that word, but I wonder how many people actually think about that stuff. Like, oh, this game, Resident Evil or Last of Us, is about an outbreak, and we're in a pandemic right now. I don't want to play this. I wonder how many people actually do think that.
I mean,
I'm sure they exist, but in how many?
It really didn't cross my mind until now either, because I'm like, oh, cool, Resident Evil's out next week.
If you think about 9/11, a lot of things were taken away, removed, canceled, delayed because of that situation. And I think this is a very similar thing, that we're experiencing right now. I think, The Last of Us could see a delay for not only for what we're talking about, but potentially because it's probably not the right time to release that game. So I would say, nothing is off the table right now.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, interesting.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see what happens there. I mean, I assume if Last of Us getting delayed, they would announce it probably pretty soon. I would think, or we'd hear it go gold and everything. Otherwise,
I want to talk about that though just a little bit more, because it's like this thing isn't slowing down though. The amount of cases are growing. So like, when would you release it? Because it's just getting bigger, and
it had to come out eventually. Yeah.
It has to come out eventually, and the cases aren't going down. And obviously, like I said, I'm not getting too deep into it, but like, the way you get tested here and everything like that, and it's really bad here in the US. Like, it's getting worse and worse. So like, when do you release it then?
Yeah, it's a good point, OJ. I mean, I can only go on how I feel, right? Like, Last of Us, the first game for me is one of my favorite games that I've ever played, and right now I just don't feel like even contemplating playing either of those games. You know what I'm saying? Because right now it's just, it doesn't feel right to me that I should play those games. I think I would just kind of get sad and just turn the game off like pretty quickly. So, you know, I think if that's true with a lot of other people, then, you know, that may be an interesting, you know, deciding factor of when the game comes out.
Yeah, I mean, the marketing firms they'll definitely have this conversation, and they'll look at it and say, you know, is this the right time to release this? And in most cases, they probably will go ahead with it. The delays will likely just be caused due to development delays, localization, testing, and those type of problems. But I mean, they're definitely going to have the conversation of, if the situation is still bad come, you know, June or July, and they have to date The Last of Us Part 2, you know, maybe for then, they might just have that conversation, say, what do you guys think? And Sony might say, we're going to delay it another 6 months because we're going to wait to the PS5. Like, we don't know.
Oh, wow.
Who knows? I mean, that's where there's a lot of just uncertainty in
nothing's
for the whole industry. I mean, even every company's putting out the statement saying, we don't know what the future holds for anything that we're doing right now, because we're not working on these projects. We're not working on anything right now. We're not in office. Yeah, we're doing remote work, but remote work only goes so far. I've talked to friends in development who are working remotely, and they say, yeah, we're making some progress, but it's also been a pain in the ass to even set up this infrastructure to allow us to do this work. This isn't simple. We're not making the progress we want. We're still making some, but compared to what we would have done in a week in office, we're only at 50% capacity. Well, I mean, that's going to have a snowball effect.
Let's go over, because we're gonna finish up with some super chat. Evan, we have any Discord questions left?
The only one here, when will the internet learn that any talk about a game, even negative, just brings awareness of that game to the masses to buy it, such as Pokemon? And he also cites Animal Crossing. I don't know if there was too much negative.
Oh, the negativity around
save files, or?
Animal Crossing is the there's the files. One island per Switch, and if you're not like the first profile, that you're apparently gated in terms of progression until the person who's like the head of the island continues beyond that point. So you just kind of get stuck, which is strange. I don't remember that on the GameCube version. So yeah, that I think was the problem. But Animal Crossings wasn't, I think, definitely not as big of a deal as
they weren't.
As
whoever didn't like that wasn't nearly as vocal as the Pokemon community.
Yeah. Well, the Pokemon community got very vocal about that game, and the Animal Crossing one, people were just excited for Animal Crossing. So it was a bit different. Let's go to Franzman over on Streamlabs, saying, if cloud streaming becomes mainstream, who will show up with their games on the Nintendo Switch first, Xbox or PlayStation?
Xbox.
Nate, you got that one? Yeah, I was gonna say Xbox, right, Nate?
Definitely Xbox.
Okay, Nate has a video on that, actually.
Yes, I do.
Maybe it'll age well this year.
Maybe everything with xCloud's on track. So, well, now it's probably getting delayed a bit, but it was on track as of the end of 2019.
Oh, there you go. Because it's going to be going to browser soon. So that what's next after browser? I don't know. Could be
Microsoft wants to see that on every device out there, including a weird hybrid hardware thing that some Japanese company made.
That is gonna freak some people out whenever that gets announced.
Let's hope.
That is gonna freak some people out. Peasy says, shout out to Evan for working behind the scenes. Keep up the good work, man. Keep
Right
up the
on,
good
Evan.
work, Evan.
Good job.
Wolfman says, I was waiting for Doom Eternal for the Switch. Yeah,
you were, or you still are.
it says I was waiting. Just says I was waiting. That's going to be MVG and I were talking about that last podcast. That's going to be an interesting game to see on the Switch. I'm really curious to see Panic Button make that work, because there are some crazy things in that game that happen.
Panic Button says it's looking good, so
Is that
there's
PR
some
talk though?
Dude, some scenes in that game are wild.
Jordan,
So.
you could say it's PR talk, but they also have an extremely good track record of listing ports.
I'm just being devil's advocate. But what if?
Yeah, I was gonna say, but what if every time?
What if?
Cedric says, "What online game loss makes you the saltiest?"
Which what?
Online game loss. Says, "What online game loss?"
Every time I play a battle royale and I lose, which is every time.
I was gonna say the most annoying one is when I'd play Fortnite and I'd go to shoot people and they'd just build and I'd be like, I hate this game. Just go away.
I think for me, I played Rocket League competitively pretty heavily when it first dropped, and we were in an actual tournament, and we were on our A game, and we didn't know how good these other players were because everyone on our team was like, "Hey, let's not do practice today. We're fine." Oh, we got whooped. I was so disappointed. I hated it.
Oh man.
You get like double perfected in like Street Fighter or something.
Smash Ultimate can make me salty playing against certain
when you feel
characters.
when you feel that internet as well when it starts to hit,
It's
and you're like, no,
not even just
mean
some
cheap characters.
Yeah, just the way some people play. Like if you play even if it's good connection and everything, you play against the Mega Man and all he's doing is just spamming all day. Or if you play against just certain characters, can make you very salty in that game. And there's like a million different matchups, so sometimes you don't remember stuff. But people that just sometimes the way they play, not necessarily their connection. If the connection's bad, I'll just quit. I'll just
in Mario
I'll
Party.
just eat myself out of the match and just play somebody else. But
People
yeah.
hated in Mario Party.
Mirror Shield says, "Will we ever see another Conker's Bad Fur Day?"
No,
No.
not the way you remember it.
Yeah, not that way.
Probably not.
That would be cool if they ever did it.
No,
I'm just gonna say no to be safe.
But
If I get proven wrong, I'll be happy.
The perfect storm behind it being what it was isn't going to happen. It's just going to be a company that's like, let's try to profit off of that history, and it's just going to be kind of like too many fingers in that pie kind of deal where it's just terrible.
Would Microsoft do anything with Conker's Bad Fur Day?
Who would you give it to? I don't think Current Rare could make a Conker's Bad Fur Day that people would expect.
It'll be on the open ocean. We'll all be on boats.
Think about how messed up that game was. You jumped on a flower's boobs.
There's the mighty poo.
The mighty poo.
The mighty poo.
The stove that you had to hit in its giant metal nuts.
Piece of shit.
And he thanked you. He said,
No, when's
the mighty poo. He will
When's this game coming out? Most people want to pre-order right now. Let's go.
I'm down.
It'll be
You
an
can play it on
exclusive
Rare Play.
Where's Battletoads?
It'll be an exclusive on Project Spark 2.
There's new.
Oh, can't. That's what it was. That's the game I was thinking of. Yeah, Project Spark.
Eric,
we have
Eric,
dreams now.
Eric asks, "What if Nintendo does the best free-to-play battle royale?"
They did. It's called Tetris 99.
They have Tetris 99.
Yup. Boom.
Dang. What if that was a reality?
What if they took the Splatoon franchise and did a battle royale with that?
Down for it.
I don't know how you can
Sign
do
me
it.
up. Sign me up. I'm down. That sounds great. You could just play a regular match, except everyone's going after each other, and you just.
And it's bigger map. Yeah, true.
Yeah, I'm down.
Make it happen.
They just got to figure out how to do it server side, because I don't think you're fitting that on a single Switch peer to peer.
Stop ruining my dream.
Dark Type says, thoughts on any RPG representation in Smash, like Octopath Traveler, Astral Chain, Ni no Kuni, Little Town Hero. Been thinking about the protagonist from Astral Chain.
No.
Yes, I definitely think the Akira twins have a shot. I also think like another Xeno character like Rex. We got an ARMS character in. Maybe they're moving. Like we still got like 5 or 6 more characters that are coming. So I think Rex has a shot. I think the Akira twins maybe have a shot from another first party character. Maybe, just maybe, Isaac.
Any of the Chameleon Twist characters?
Yes.
They asked about the game that myself and 3 other people bought in Little Town Hero.
Somehow get Croc
Right, man. I'm
involved.
still waiting for my physical to get here.
You're probably they probably got the order and was like, oh, someone bought this.
Oh my
Little
god!
Town
Someone
Hero. Yeah,
ordered this?
I don't know.
Quick, chase that
actually put
garbage
that
truck. We
together.
got to get him back.
We better actually put this together. I didn't know anyone buy it.
Yikes.
Oh, that game is so bad.
Yeah, you guys tease me now. Wait till that becomes a $300 game in a couple.
I know, right? We're gonna be like, I'm gonna look it up 5 years from now and be like, MVG bought that thing and it's worth $1,000 right now.
Now he's the richest man on the internet.
Oh man. JW with the 10,000 South Korean won with a thank you sticker. Very cool. I keep forgetting that YouTube's doing this now, where you can kind of put like the almost like the gift
Send a
stickers.
sticker.
Yeah.
It's kind of like those other streaming sites that are just streaming for like an Instagram, you know, like they just like it's just for streaming talking to people when they can send like gifts and stickers. So that's what they added.
Ruffle Mutt says plant zombies are different from a flu? With question mark.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so far with what's going on, no one has sprouted fungi from their head.
Okay.
Oh,
still
you
early
see,
days.
Not yet.
Yeah,
Still
early days.
Never say never.
Zaire Miller says my local Walmart I work at still have copies of Paper Mario Color Splash for $50 in the corner of the Switch section, being the only Wii U game selling here.
Hey, that's better than Burnout for 50.
Is it though?
I'll say Burnout's still pretty fun. I mean, you can give it, it's I don't know.
Burnout's fun, but like 20, 30 at max.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I like Burnout is. I think when they dropped that remaster, I thought it was like, was that a $30 or $40 game on the other platform?
It was 40.
Was it
40? Yeah, it was 40.
But now you can get it. What was the cheapest it was the other day? Wasn't it like $8?
It's cheap now. It's cheap now. Yeah, you can get it for
Wasn't it free on Game Pass?
Was that one?
Was
one?
Paradise put on free on Game Pass?
No, it was on.
No, I don't think it was
Access. They put
access. Yeah.
You sure? I feel like Burnout Free was free. Burnout Paradise was free on something.
And then we have Core Sonic saying Nintendo should make a Mario theme park game, like Roller Coaster Tycoon, I guess.
That'd be cool.
And then the other Dark Meat says, "What do you guys think of the Twisted Metal franchise? And do you think it could come back with more games?"
Wish.
I bought a PSP for Twisted Metal.
What? Really?
Yeah. That was like one of the launch games. It was awesome.
Oh, I thought you meant like recently. I'm like, what is that?
Twisted Metal is an awesome franchise and it deserves to come back.
I would like to see Sony take a shot at it with a developer in like 2021, like on the next system.
Well, see, that's the problem. Like, do you bring back David Jaffe?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean,
Did you see Jaffe go ballistic when people said that he shouldn't be brought back for it? That was awesome.
I mean, I assume you got to get him, right? Like, I assume you have to, right?
I mean, he made the PS3 version that nobody bought or played.
I like the PS3 version. It came out in 2011 on Valentine's Day, and I played it.
Do you bring Jaffe back? I mean, they did God of War without him, right?
True.
The last one? You don't need him. You don't need him.
Whoa, don't tell him that.
That was a good God of War game too.
Don't tell him that.
He definitely would come back to. I mean, because he streams and all that, and he's talked about it actually multiple times. He definitely would come if they asked him to. He'd do it.
I assume they'd have him come in and present his idea and see if, and I guess they'd go from there, right?
Yeah.
So,
Did he do that one game with the shooting and the drawing?
Yeah.
That game sucked.
Yeah, I remember.
That game wasn't as good, but Twisted Metal is really good. I like the PS3 Twisted Metal is cool. I like it. If they brought him back, I think it'd be pretty cool if they got something. But do you think they'd have to maybe change potentially some of the design with the game, or do you think it's just the straight up old school? Just they'd
probably try to modernize some parts of it, or change it in some way to make
every character has an iPhone. Boom.
Justin Maverick says, with all the specs listed for both PS5 and Series X, it seems to certain that Microsoft and Sony are going to take a loss on console sales. What kind of loss can they afford and still justify the loss? Well, last we heard, Sony might lose $50 to $60 on a system.
It depends what they price them. if they come in at the $400 price, they're going to lose money.
I think so. I think Sony's going to take a shot at that.
Yeah, they're just going to make it all back on those expansion hard drive.
Yeah, and controllers, and I mean that's why accessories are priced at a premium. They make their money on accessories.
I think Sony's going to take a shot at that $400 price.
Oh, they will.
If
It did them real good last gen.
If they try, Microsoft's going to be ready to do it too.
They're not. Microsoft's not going to make that Series X 400. There's no way.
No,
they have Game Pass to fall back on. They have
if that Series X is 400,
Microsoft
there's
got
no
that
way.
infinite money, so they'll be like, whatever, we'll take the loss.
If you take 10 minutes and look at the insides of the Series X that they showed off, dude, the quality in there is ridiculous.
There's no way.
That's a $500 system minimum, and they might be losing money on that.
Prove it.
Price it out. When AMD actually releases their chips that don't even exist yet to our knowledge, then we'll be able to do it. Like that's the thing with these consoles. That's the problem with these systems right now is we don't even know the chips they're going to be using. We just know AMD's RDNA 2. We don't know any video card to even compare it to right now.
What kind of chips? Doritos, Lay's, Fritos.
That's the thing. We're waiting for AMD just to introduce
specifically
one of their consumer cards to us.
Funyuns, yes.
Like, what do we know about the 5700 XT? That's what a $350, $400 card, somewhere in there, $350. It's we're waiting for. We don't even see AMD with their ray tracing solution yet. We don't see any of that. So I assume they're going to show it off soon. But
did you see the DirectX 12 GDC presentation from last week that Microsoft?
I read about it. It seemed kind of interesting to see that. I mean, the Series
the same
X
presentation as Sony.
No.
So here's what we have inside.
No.
Pretty crazy, right? Love it.
It'll be it's the pricing.
Here's a picture of Dead Space.
I think Series X will be 500, and I think the PS5 will be 400. Everything about that PS5 presentation like just screamed cost cutting to try to.
It's like last gen all over again.
Yeah, well, I mean, if Lockhart exists as everyone says it does, then that could be a $300 system.
But is that going to drop day and date with
No.
Series X?
No.
Well, then.
But if
it did, then that makes the difference. If it doesn't, then all right. Well, we'll see what happens. But I
think it's going to be more realistic that both target $499.
Okay.
Well, here's my thinking. Like Sony's like, yeah, we want to obviously be like, oh look, we're a little bit cheaper. Get us because that's how we've been. But I think that they know people are going to buy the PlayStation based on their track record as a company, and with PlayStation 4 being as big as it is.
Mm-hmm.
They can just be like, you know what, we don't need to charge $500, but we will, just to be because they won't criticize us because we're matching the cost of the other console. So they easily could if they don't need to. Just saying, and go either way with them. We'll see how they play it.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we find out, what the PS5 even looks like soon. So
probably
we'll see. That'll help us. By the way, I think if they actually show off some more of the system in general, we can.
If it's a tower, if it's a tower as well,
I don't think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a regular box. I don't think it's gonna be a tower.
That'd be funny.
I think there's a lot of stuff that's described with that system. I think it's going to be a PS4 looking box. So
it's just another layer on top.
Yeah, it might be. It might be like a triple layer ice cream sandwich type thing. Yeah.
Now we're talking.
Might be. Let's go around here as we finish up. Evan, do we have any more Discord questions, or is that
all
it?
clear up?
Okay, let's go around here. Joey, thanks for joining us tonight. Where can everyone find you?
Thanks for having me on. It's great to be on here. You can find me everywhere on Ferris Wheel Pro, including YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, all that stuff. I also write for a website called nukethefridge.com. You can also check out my written work there.
Cool. All right. Very good. What about MVG?
You can find me on Twitter at Modern Vintage G, YouTube Modern Vintage Gamer, video dropping Monday, and maybe live stream next week as well. I'm trying to think about something cool to do that involves some coding or something. So check out the channel. Thanks for having me on.
What about OJ?
Yeah, you can find me right here on YouTube, Player Essence, also on Twitter, Player Essence. This upcoming week, we got some Persona stuff to talk about this week, and Catherine. We're gonna be getting into that. Some more stuff. I got a video. I shot out everything ready. Bravely Default 2 got a video in terms of the differences between that and Octopath, because some people are like, it's just the same as Octopath. No, it's not. So we got a video talking about that coming up, and more Xenoblade stuff for sure. I did a video earlier, so check out all that if you're into RPGs and Final Fantasy and all that stuff. Check out the channel. And we're giving away a Switch too. We're giving away a Switch this week, so make sure you guys subscribe. Get a chance to enter in for that. Switch Lite, Fighter's Pass, and some other cool stuff.
And let's go to Jordan.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Great episode. I'll have some interesting content coming up on YouTube soon. I've been playing around with. You'll see. I don't want to talk about it till it's done. But with what?
With what?
With what? Nothing. Don't worry about it. I'm also on Twitch streaming Animal Crossing. I'm trying to probably this week give away a copy of Animal Crossing digitally away. So yeah, you can find me just Jordan Fringe.
There was a donation that came through on Streamlabs. Jordan just says, I think Microsoft would need to buy Playtonic to make a proper Banjo-Kazooie or Conquer. And then they said, shout out to Jordan, best silver-headed guy on earth.
Thank you.
There you go. But yeah, that'd be interesting if Microsoft did buy Playtonic. There were those rumors, but never know. What about Nate?
You can find me on Twitter at DirectFeedGames. Can also find me on the other account, Nate the Hate, followed by the number 2. Hopefully have some podcasts hitting the Nate the Hate YouTube channel this week. We'll see. Probably have some undocked Panzer Dragoon footage up on the Direct Feed Games channel either tomorrow or Monday. Then we'll see what comes out next week that will be captured for some footage.
Awesome. And then Evan.
You can just find me on Twitter, Kimmerix Project. If anything's going on, I'll usually talk about it there.
Okay. That'll work. That's going to do it here for the SpawnCast episode 156. We'll probably do some fun stuff this week coming up. Maybe some sort of stream or something with a bunch of people. Have some fun and maybe raise some money for a good cause. So keep an eye out on Twitter for that. And we'll see you guys next Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time for the next SpawnCast.